Holy shit, that thing didn't want to end. Wait, did I just die? God damn it! What the fuck?
Subversary message goes here.
In response to multiple breaking stories, Resident Evil with Queen Pib will not be seen tonight. Instead, we have ongoing news coverage. I am so sure that that is exactly what Gold Loki wanted me to do with that little stinger when they created that graphic for me several months ago. This actually isn't the scene I actually wanted to be on, because I can toggle between this more concentrated one and then regular studio looks. This is actually where I want to be, so I suppose it stands to reason this is where I'll put myself here. Good evening, everyone. This is not your usual evening of Resident Evil. I mean, don't get me wrong, we may still end up playing the basement toots in response to what's going on here. But that will be resuming in earnest tomorrow evening, unless, I don't know, Twitch something else up royal. It's entirely possible. But this will not be your usual evening of what I mean, it'll be bullshit, but it'll be bullshit for different reasons. Significantly different reasons. What I will do is I will start from the top and make it drop. We'll see what we got here bright and early on a special edition. Whatever the fuck this show is. You know, I figured if we're doing something newsy, I could at least dress the part. I could at least... Well, the other thing too is, you know, if we're going to be engaging in some serious topics, I kind of figured having the stonking giant tits right there would kind of undercut the message, so I decided perhaps I would look prim and proper this evening. Let me see what we got here first of all. By the way, before anyone asks, all the redemptions for tonight are disabled. I've even actually blocked raids just for tonight because who the fuck would want to be brought involuntarily to this? So for tonight, at least while we're covering this portion, nobody can raid into this program. Nobody can do that. We also have the room preemptively in follower 10 mode, because this is a dumb story. Several dumb stories. Several incredibly dumb f***ing stories. And as well as this. Pink Robots, of course, thank you for that 25-month resub earlier at Tier 2. Welcome back. Vault Dwelly as well. Thank you for the 5-month resub. Welcome on in. Hello, Arthak, Ravaging Marvel, Pink Robots, Celeste, Spectre Saunders, good evening, Valdswella Lee, Ruby Snowdrop, hello, Ramses, Tempia. Golden Loki, can't remember if I said hello. I'll say it again. And yes, as we have a content warning timer as well as command for this evening. Basically all of them, including but not limited to gambling, addiction, sexual assault, and child predation, I guess that's a word. The act of being a predator, I suppose that's what that term is. So that applies to probably the entire evening. If that's not your cup of tea, I get it. You can deuces out. That's fine. I won't take it against you personally. It's no big deal. This shit ain't for everyone. Banzai Merlin, Sam Lynette, welcome on in. Hey Flounder, TF for date, welcome on in. Hello Hebe, how you doing? AMSK, Waffles, Pope Corky the 9th, Mary, welcome on in. Cupcake, is it possible to sync this to level 2 days in a row? Oh, you'd be surprised. This is technically something that I think started about 96 hours ago. It's just reaching catastrophic levels of stupid this evening. Well, not this evening. Technically it hit catastrophic levels of stupid at about 2:57 a.m. Pacific time this morning. But who's counting? Sorry that Twitch being the worst is the reason for this. Look, I mean, hey, look, I clean up pretty good when I need to. Hey, Martinez, Deviant Individual, welcome on. And hey, Gabe Pride as well. Graveness, Funkadella Chica. By the way, when I'm not in drag, I mean, I look fancy, but this ain't drag. You can call me Pib. You can still call me Trish. Pronouns, whatever the hell you want to use. I'm not going to be fussy about it. I don't give a shit. She, her, they, them, he, him. I don't care. Use whatever you want. I'm not going to take it personally or anything like that, because this is me showing up in a non-standard format, so I understand if there's going to be a little bit of, don't take it. Don't sweat it. I ain't taking any of that shit personally. MSK says, you're going to take this as seriously as you possibly can, and that's saying a lot considering you hate being serious. Yeah, don't we all? I mean, normally I prefer to just sit here and kind of read this platform for filth while doing something else. But there's a lot going on. A lot that has gone on, a lot that is going on, a lot that will go on. And I thought, you know, maybe, what if we just stopped the whole thing dead for an evening and just got into the shit? Because, I mean, look, Resident Evil's the kind of game where I could play it and then just on autopilot and then talk about this stuff. But I thought, nope, let's just stop the whole train dead. Look, it's Resident Evil. I can play it any fucking time I want. I don't care. We'll play it again tomorrow. We'll play it next week. It'll be beautiful. Do what you gotta do, Nev, but I appreciate the amount of time anyone chooses to spend a little old me over here. So, you may have noticed the little Chiron there. By the way, can I just say that I love that I've been in this shit show long enough that I just have these assets laying around? Like, I didn't have to make this from scratch. I had this from an old video I made in 2018. I got all that shit laying around, so it's... And then, you know, we already had this, and all I did was I just bought another backdrop so that, you know, whenever we're doing a closer dive on content, we can do this. So then you can see what's going on back there a little bit easy, because, you know, we got some articles, some videos, some screenshots. I came fully loaded this evening. Look, we don't do a React Andy very much around here, but when we do this shit proper. Are we going to talk about the weather? Well, it is actually quite lovely around here. It seems fall is it waited until the exact start of fall to turn up because it's actually quite lovely. We got the windows open. Tomorrow, I think it's supposed to be like high 60s. Something. It's actually supposed to be quite pleasant around here. So everyone's all like, hey. Everyone's like, oh my God, it's fall. And I'm like, yeah, but that means the holiday season is coming. We'll be there waiting for the leaves to change color, and here I am revving up the Michael Bublé holiday album, just getting that thing ready to go. Pip has been broadcasting news since 2018, if only. Hey, Saints Day, great dolly had a hat as well. Well, yeah, I mean, the Lippy does match the suit, that is true. Once again, I am going to use, I'm going to reissue the content warning command. The bot's also going to spit it out periodically throughout the evening. This is not going to be your usual evening of Peppy Theater. And if that's not the sort of thing you can handle, like I said, I'm not taking it personally. Like, as I'm also, the redemptions are also on the shelf for this, and you can't raid in here. So, because, the news that dropped this morning, but not the news that Twitch wanted to drop this morning, are serious allegations from Bloomberg that Twitch, like many places on the internet, has a bit of a child predator problem. However, due to the unique nature of Twitch's service, and you have to be careful to call it a service because it is a service, not a platform, it's a service, it hits it a little bit different than it would on other places. But we're not going to start here. We're not going to start here. We got to roll the tape back. Because this is the culmination of like 96 hours of Twitch being a festering dumpster fire. So before we can even get to the end of it here, we gotta start somewhere else. And this is gonna be some of the dumbest fucking borderline high school shit you've ever heard in your life, but I gotta set the stage. I can't just go right to the big finish. We gotta work up to it. We gotta explain what this stupid fucking website looked like leading up to it before we get to, oh, yeah, that's bad. That's a very bad. So, part one of this stupid story. By the way, if we do run through all of this and we got time remaining, we will still play a video game. It'll probably just be Faxanadu or something from the Nintendo. Something where I can, like I said, just kind of play it on autopilot and passively discuss the story. Because in order to, talk about this, it's got to be something that might just reflexes that my brain. I can just push the buttons and the rest of my brain can focus on stuff. 8 Eyes? No, not 8 Eyes. 8 Eyes is horrid. That game is horrible. So, where this all begins, what we have tentatively called Gambageddon and the upper crust kerfuffle. Content warnings, as indicated in there, include gambling, sexual assault, and dumb fucking entitled white people shit. I will go ahead and move us over to here. This is probably the most succinct way I've kind of found to explain what the hell was going on with Twitch's bourgeoisie late last week / Saturday. Let me see if I can zoom this in a little more here. Actually, what we should do is we should just go here. This is again, this is the dumbest, most stupid provincial shit, but it's where this whole stupid story begins. So the upper crust on this platform, you super duper A-listers. Look, I understand I got that check mark down there, but that don't mean I'm hot shit. That just means I had a hot streak. That doesn't mean that I can wander into a room and then Twitch will go, oh my god, that's Queen Pip. No, that doesn't happen. That absolutely doesn't freaking happen. Hey Zombie, welcome on. And yeah, tonight's program's gonna be a little different from the usual. Hey Bunnykins, by the way, as well. So it all begins here. You've got your XQCs, your Slickers, your train wrecks, your Mizkiffs, your Ludwigs, your Hassans. It's the people at the top, at a top. The five-figure Andes, the people who live out in California, out in LA, or down in Austin, the people who do 250 hours of this a month, and it pays the bills, well. Occasionally, these people like to get into pissing matches with each other for content. Because at the end of the day, though they may argue with each other, these people will all at the end sing Kumbaya and then be happy with each other. But, they're not against, causing a little bit of mayhem and destruction in the process. As a matter of fact, I think that's actually what happened last night. A whole bunch of them got together and all did Kumbaya with each other. So this is several things that all convalesced into one big stupid shitstorm. The XQC, the little blonde guy, you would go, what does that name stand for? But that name is a lot more intelligent than that guy deserves, because the guy is a Quebecer. He's from Quebec. He doesn't live there, but he's from Quebec. So X to meaning former, and then QC, which is the abbreviation for the province of Quebec. So he is an ex-Quebecer. Not a level of wit I would normally be expecting from this particular individual. But whatever, it is what it is. He has this really weird... He apparently breaks up with his girlfriend, who also streams on Twitch. I don't know her. I don't know who she is. Other than to use the name Adept. Maybe she's a fine, lovely person. I have no idea. This is not necessarily to indicate that she is a good character, merely that she is a side character in the story. Now, there's a little thing that they like to do every year in the summer. It's called Shit Camp. It's where a bunch of the super duper higher tier people, it's organized by someone called QT Cinderella. And I guess they all get together and they do dumb shit. They call it Shit Camp. I can't argue with the name. Apparently, he would normally go to these events. This time, he elected not to go. And apparently, he says... I think he initially stated that he didn't want to go to this thing because someone either didn't want him to go or he didn't agree with someone who was there. Whatever it was, it wound up being a bullshit reason because when, the upper crusters all kind of twisted the knife a little. Why didn't you go? Why didn't you go? I don't know. And then he publicly admits he broke up with this broad. And apparently it resulted in one of the most cringe-inducing moments that I'm sure has ever been on this platform, whereupon he apparently wore a heart rate monitor and then was arguing with his ex-girlfriend. It's really very quite strange behavior. Look, I grew up in Canada. Look, I had an English side of the family and a French side of the family. I'd be lying if I said that the French side of the family was more functional than the English side of the family. I'm not going to go into specifics, but I'm not necessarily shocked that, you know, sometimes the French are a little sleazy. I'm sorry, I get to say that. I grew up in Canada. I get to say that. Not everyone. In fact, not even most. I'm just saying. There's tendencies. I'm just saying. I've witnessed shit in person. I've been party to shit. I've heard shit. The entire population has those tendencies. Yeah, I know, but it sounds funny when I say it. Hey, Violent Decade. Yeah, je parle un petit peu français, mais j'espère que mon anglais est la meilleure langue pour... I'm butchering this anyway. Hey, Killing Time, by the way, welcome on. Hey, Bluefoot. Hey, Rothy as well, welcome on in. My Simlish is beautiful, ain't it? So anyway, yeah, Adept confronts him on stream. LSF, which is a stupid fucking Reddit thing, because everything on Reddit is stupid fucking. They do whatever the hell it is they're doing. At the same time, so there's this weird XQC drama going on with the upper crust of Twitch. That's all going on over there. Meanwhile, individual goes by the name Slicker. I'd never heard of this person before all of this. Perhaps you haven't either. Look, this is these people at the top are kind of a lowest common denominator program. We are not. So it's not exactly an issue that you haven't heard of it, because normally I wouldn't be fucking hearing about this shit too. So don't think that you're like out of step or whatever if you have no idea who these people are. Très bien français. Merci beaucoup. Oh yeah, we also have a new command in the timer in the chat bot. We'll get to it later, but Twitch is very strongly encouraging all of us to dust off our YouTube operations and make sure that those are running in tip-top shape. So if you're not following me already on YouTube, I do encourage you to go ahead and take some time and make sure you're following me over there. Because if the bottom ever falls out from this website, that's exactly where we're going. So, you know, beat the rush. But anyway, you thought you forgot all French, your brain translated most of that all right? Hey, when it works, it works. Every time you learn of a top-tier Twitch streamer, it's like a portal to a different universe where you don't belong. Yeah. Hey, Volnizzle, thank you for the YouTube follow. Thank you. Hey, this is why also in the Discord we have that paid opportunity to become a video editor for the Queen Pip show. There's a form in there. Hey, if you're a video editing genius there, you just want to open up Windows Movie Maker and put some clips together. Hey, there's a form. You interested in that shit? You let me know. We're trying to leverage that YouTube page. Anyway, someone called Slicker apparently develops a gambling habit, a sports betting gambling habit. Not necessarily on stream. Apparently this guy didn't actually stream a whole lot of him gambling. But apparently it was a thing, and he would routinely hit up other people asking for money. A lot of people. A lot of people. To the tune of 300,000 when everyone involved got together and compared notes. I love that they did the little minus 300,000 thing, so it looks like a thing in a video game. I actually kind of dig that this Jake Lucky person did that. It's a nice little touch. Nice little touch. While this is going on, and this is what the content warning is here for, allegations, this happened in the past. It has been corroborated by the victim, Adriana. Again, this is this has been corroborated by the victim and to an extent by the perpetrator as well. There was a party, what was it, 2018, 2019. This individual inappropriately touches this person without consent. I'm not going to go into the specifics beyond that, other than there was consent not acquired for touching. I will leave it at that. I'm not going into any more detail. There's allegations, not on Twitch. No, this happened in Austin. One of those things they all do down there, some party or whatever. But no, it didn't happen live on the platform. No, but these are two individuals who do operate on the platform. Ms. Kiff and this Maya person, and I don't know who this Mitch person is. Apparently, and I'm gonna cover my ass here and say allegedly here, they engage in some kind of subterfuge to make it go away. I don't know what, and I don't know the exact details, so I will only say allegedly they do something to make the story go away. They do something. And then it's quiet for a while until Mitch apparently leaks it to an individual who you will come to know later as Trainwrecks. It was one of the major gambling streamers on this platform. Engages in the slots category, which is just what it sounds like, gambling. You put well, yes and no, and we'll get to more of that later. But they're discussing gambling as in gambling on a website, not, go to the casino, have a couple of free drinks and lose $60 at a slot machine. No, not like that. But anyway, this Trainwrecks person finds out about this. So where we are right now, weird falling out amongst the upper crust over shit camp and breaking up with his girlfriend with XQC. The slicker individual fleeces people for $300,000. And then Trainwrecks finds out about the slick person. Slicker and slick, two different people. To make that clear. Name looks similar, but it's two different people. Slicker and slick, two different people. Now then, it comes out that Slicker owes $300,000 to, probably banks or whoever. Well, no, he doesn't owe it to, he owes it to people. He owes this money to people. He doesn't owe it to the casino or whatever because he's already paid them off with the money he borrowed from people. But morally, he owes people something to the tune of about $300,000. This breaks by all of them just kind of figuring this shit out. Yeah, viewers, friends, other peers, exactly. I believe Hassan even stated that he was hit up for some of this money. As a side note, I often just assume that I'm not getting the money back, but that doesn't assume that, if I'm going to commit funding to something, I just assume I'm not getting it back. But it's not unreasonable for these people to think, well, I should get this money back because, if you've made the agreement as such, you should do that. Anyway, XQC and a couple others who are all in with the gambling, or as they like to call it, the gamba, which I don't know it for a fact, but I assume it's because, he's French, and if I was doing my French accent, I'd probably pronounce it the exact same way. I'd say, hey, we're going to do the gamba. I would call it that too. So it's probably, I don't know if it's a French pun or what, but it is what it is. Hey, jokes, welcome on. And yes, never lend an amount of money you can't afford to lose. Exactly. So, while this is also going on, Asmongold, who is one of the big World of Warcraft and other type streamers here on the platform, again, also in the upper crust here, he gets upset that Slicker hasn't been banned for, basically engaging in, fraud. I mean, it's legit, and I think he has since been terminated in some fashion by the website in very recent days. But at the time, he was like, hang on a second, why the fuck is this guy still in good standing? So now we're at here. XQC is offering to pay people back as Mongold is pissed off. Train goes after everyone. Trainwrecks, who is another large gambling streamer, who allegations came out apparently last May, but have since resurfaced that he was paying off Twitch staffers with crypto to the tune of anywhere from 50 to 80,000 in crypto. One employee since no longer works for Twitch. We don't know why or when that went down. The other one apparently, regrettably, passed away recently. But suffice to say, Twitch staff are openly receiving crypto from this Trainwrecks person. And there is documented evidence of that out there. Trainwrecks, this Trainwrecks, who now knows about this assault allegation. This Train individual is going after all the Austin gang for doing this all for content. The Austin gang is, so you got your West Coast upper crust Twitch streamers, and then you got the ones down in Austin, Texas, which is Silicon Valley South. They're like, hey, come on down, we'll all be tech pros. Hey, it's awesome. Just ignore, all the abortion rights being taken away and shit like that. It's always fucking wild when you see like a bunch of white libs always champion how awesome and they should all go down to Austin while ignoring the fact that everyone else in Texas is getting screwed. But anyway, Mods, welcome on in. So Mizkiv attempts to hit back on Train, and then Train reveals this assault allegation to try and throw people off and distract with an even bigger story. That this individual assaulted this individual and that these people apparently tried to cover it up. So he throws that up as a smokescreen, and then everyone at the top is just eating themselves. The snake is eating its own tail at this point. It's the full-blown Ouroboros. The snake is just completely eating its tail at this point. XQC and Hassan are fighting each other, and Pokemon and a bunch of others all at the top suddenly decide, Twitch, if you don't ban the gambling, we're going on strike. There's actually a very lovely video that Hassan's video editor Austinox created. I actually really like this. It's actually a video edit I really wanted someone to make. So we're very fortunate that Austinox, and again, I'm going to post it for you here in chat here. We're so very blessed that he created a video that I envisioned but didn't have the time or wherewithal to make myself.
You, games, fun, slots, money, slots, wins, gamble, money, gamble, jackpot, penthouse suite, expensive cars, you with a girl, winning money, 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 wins, gamble, fun, slots, 40-hour streams, you in a McLaren, fucking buck, gamble, more, you fucking pussy, more wins, more money, more slots, charity, gamble, gamble, gamble! Please gamble responsibly.
If you're not familiar, there is an old South Park bit where they basically do the same thing with alcohol. It's like a parody of all those alcohol commercials where it's akin to the, the whole, please drink responsibly. Also, here's all the irresponsible things you can do under the influence of alcohol. You think Stephanie Sterling is a topic for next week? It's funny you bring up Steph Sterling because we have a little bit of a video from them to watch in a little bit. We do have that. And yes, let's be careful with the Minecraft jokes because here's the deal. Law enforcement knows what that means. They figured it out. They figured it out what that means. Now, if you want to truncate it, you could just say, I hope someone gets video gamed. Because that could mean anything. Again, this is not legal advice, but you can't just punctuate something with in Minecraft because they figured that out. You can't use that line anymore. Anyway. The random charity line thrown in killed you. Yeah, that's, where's that one here? Oh yeah, that's from Trainwreck. Fuck it, $500,000 giveaway next stream. $800,000 giveaway stream. All you need to do is be following, and yeah, that's Trainwreck. Covering for some of his, that guy's making millions of dollars a freaking month. Not just in the gambling, but in the advertisements to the gambling. So yeah, they all go at each other's throats. And the upper crust go, okay, Twitch, do something about gambling, ban it, or we're going on strike during peak ad season, which is December. And you know what? We're gonna pause on that part of it. I mean, you know where it went. You know where it ends up. They kind of sort of do actually get to that. But immediately, a lot of people, those of us who were very much either in the front line or in the back row for the Twitch Do Better movement in summer of August of 2021, take notice and go, huh? Where were you bastards when we were doing this shit last year? Because there's literally only one person, and actually I think it's two. There are only two, I think, in the upper crust who participated in the day off Twitch. Granted, both of these people are everyday streamer Andys, and these people do have to take breaks at some point, so they don't go completely freaking round the bend. It was Hassan, and I think as Mongold actually also participated, though He didn't? I thought he took the day off. Okay, never mind. Forget everything I just said. But Hassan did take that day off. I don't know if it was truly in solidarity, but the point is he took the day off. But all of these people are going, wait a minute. What? Now, actually, I think it was, oddly enough, I think it was Density who broached this whole topic. And I could see Destiny broaching this because, I mean, look, anything to put the screws to the platform that he got banned from. But anyway, they'll go, all right, meet our demands, or we're going to just tell you to go f yourselves in ad season. Before we get to whether or not that actually worked out, I have a clip here from a video that Devin Nash put out yesterday. Now, I will temper this because Devin Nash is also a Trainwrecks apologist, but there is a portion of this video that still speaks true, even if he's perhaps not the most non-partisan observant here. This is a portion of a video which he put out yesterday called Twitch is a Serious Problem. It relates to gambling. And the portion that I'm going to bring up here is how the proliferation of gambling streams is a net negative for the platform in terms of the user base of the platform becoming less desirable. It's the same for community where the girl's like, I can excuse racism, but yeah, exactly. I do remember that scene. I'm going to give the floor to Devin Nash here for just a moment.
Okay. And then it just gets worse from there. So now I'm going to give you some other stuff that's a little bit more subjective that I think is going to kind of clarify the issues. So the other thing it does is it attracts a worse user demographic to the site. Reason number 2. What does that mean? Different people consume different things, okay? The person who is commenting on a Pornhub video is unlikely to be the same person who is commenting on a Devin Nash video. Over there, they do BBC. Over here, we do PPC, okay? It might be the same person. It might be, right? Like there's going to be some crossover, but generally speaking, the demographic is different between those two websites. And like if you're currently 20 minutes into a Devin Nash video, like you probably watch Pornhub statistically also, but your likelihood to be interacting with both of those websites is going to be smaller, right? Hey, if you do, you're great. I got no problem with you. I'm just saying, there's different demographics for different places. The people that are watching Live Leak, the people that are watching World Star Hip Hop, the people that are watching YouTube finance channels versus YouTube soccer channels versus whatever is different types of content. Okay, so what kind of people and what kind of demographic watch the sort of like gambling content? And again, this is a generalization, right? Like there are going to be people that are sophisticated that watch this kind of content all over the place, and but generally speaking, this demographic engages less, is much more interested in things like drama and like and like low content type issues. Entertainment that revolves around exploitation, things like that, right? Like we have tons of data on user demographics for gambling, and generally speaking, these are not users that are going to pay the same amount of money, respond the same way to ads, interact in the same way, or focus on what we would call quality content. So this is a much more subjective thing that's more difficult to measure, but it's for anybody that has spent any decent amount of time on Twitch over the past 3 to 4 years, this is super obvious. That objectively, the demographic of people that have been introduced to Twitch and the sort of new generation of Twitch viewers is worse than the ones before. And when I say worse, what I mean is that those users are much more drama-focused, much more prone to cause trouble, much less likely to engage or buy something or to participate in content that is like iterative or thought-provoking or educational. And this is why you see very little like educational-oriented broadcasts on Twitch, or very little like people that are trying to make something that is like not just like degenerate content, which brings me to number 3. It drives down content on the website because it's lazy as hell and easy to do. So somebody sitting in front of a screen doing slots for like 20 hours is going to be, and then other streamers seeing that work is going to discourage people who want to make like high production or like event-based content. And this is something that we should be concerned with, because the future of Twitch is going to be in good, well-produced content. It's not going to be this stuff. This stuff is going to drive down CPMs. It's going to drive down advertising. Eventually, if Twitch keeps this up, nobody will take the website seriously. And the only stuff that will be on this website is stuff like gambling, crypto scams, rug pulls, and things like that. This has happened to so many websites, and it could absolutely happen to Twitch as well. As the quality of the user base keeps going down, down, and down, the people that are interested in legitimate pursuits like education or quality, high-produced content will go elsewhere to find it, and the website will just become a cesspool. This is basically what's happening with Twitch. Is like the user base is getting worse and worse, and the content is getting worse and worse. So the people that consume that content are worse, and so on. This flywheel goes until everything is hosed. That is...
Yeah. What he said. So again, very interesting points there that, again, you see the kind of people who just put out what he said, you know, lazy content. Now, that's not to say that they can't be compelling, but now if you're here, you got a pretty good idea that we do drag on the reg. By the way, Ari, Little Brownie D, Trinetta, welcome on in, all of yous. So around here, you do know that I do drag. At any given moment, I'll have stonking giant breasts on. A lot of effort goes into making this program, and not just in, all the weird technical shit and the doodads and the buttons and the retro consoles. Just based on itself. Look, it takes me anywhere from 50 to 80 minutes to get into the full drag that I do on this program. At the same time, regular slot machine Andy can roll out of bed, sit in front of the computer, and then just pull the virtual handle for 15, 20 hours and get further in a day on this platform than I ever will in my life. That's not to say that I deserve what they have. Media consumption is very different, especially where we are very much an alternative amongst the alternative. This is a drag show, but it is not a prototypical drag show. I'm a drag show where you show up and suddenly we're quoting Goodfellas, or Casino, or we're discussing NFL football. This is not the prototypical drag show. So I'm already a subset of a subset of a subset. And that's fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. But at the same time, you look at them having the success doing that kind of stuff, or the I'm just sleeping stuff, whatever. I mean, look, go get your bag, but you see people having success with low effort content, and the question becomes, well, why would I put forth an effort, if I don't have to? I'm not going to say who said this. Please don't speculate in chat as to who it is. If you know who it is, please keep it to yourself. But I know there is one individual. Again, please keep the identity of this person to yourself if you know who it is. I'm not denigrating this person, I'm just quoting them. Where they indicated that they didn't need to show up and drag all the time because they weren't going to earn any more from putting forth that kind of particular effort, which, as I have stated, is a lot of prep time that goes into before the show. So if you can make X amount of money through ads, bits, subs, whatever, and the same amount of money, but doing significantly less to get there, why would you bother showing up and drag the whole time? Now, I do it because I like it. Hey, this person is onto something. I agree with them. I do it because I want to do it. But if I was profit-driven, I could look at this and go, I don't have to do all this shit to be successful. I do it because I want to. But I could also stop doing it and also maybe even do better. But it's neither here nor there. Of course, because I like it. I have a confession to make. I don't like wearing titties. Okay, yes, I do. I really do enjoy it. I mean, the only reason I'm not wearing it tonight is because I don't want to distract from the seriousness of many of the topics we're doing this evening. Why are you reminded of the anecdote how if you don't kick Nazis out of your bar, it eventually becomes a Nazi bar? Because it'd be like that, Mary. It do be like that. It do be very much like that. So, again, the upper crust, who, as I showed you earlier, are all having an absolute clusterfuck with each other over gambling and weaponized sexual assault allegations that weren't theirs to use, and just generally being pieces of shit. At the same time, legitimate discussions have been had for months about what place gambling has on Twitch as a platform. For me personally, I would say get rid of it. And I don't mean just get rid of the stuff that Twitch wound up getting rid of. I mean, lose it all. Get rid of it. We don't need that shit. Is the thing. And this is why we also have a Stephanie Sterling video ready to go after this. There's so many people. There's so many people out there. By the way, Bunny, welcome on as well. There's so many people who just hear that people are doing casino stuff on Twitch. And I think there's a thing going on in your head where you don't quite draw the connection that it's not a physical casino. It's not, you know, what was the stupid fucking made up ones from Casino? It's not the Tangiers or whatever. It's hosted on a server somewhere in what I'm assuming is a non-extradition treaty country. I mean, I don't know it for certain, but it's all a bunch of web-based bullshit that's not regulated by the United States. Because gambling is a very heavily regulated industry. And the online gambling casino thing, first of all, if you're again, this is going to deal with gambling. And it's a very easy thing to become addicted to. If you know, and I mean, a lot of you, I mean, some of us know that on certain things we do have addictive tendencies. We know these things to be true, and, you know, sometimes we're like, you know what? Some things, no, get rid of it. Now, of course, before we get to the Steph Sterling video, the other very rich thing that was going on was to deflect from criticisms of online gambling. Proponents of online gambling would hit back with, well, now, wait a minute. If you get rid of gambling on Twitch, don't you also have to get rid of the hot tub streamers? Because, you know, porn addiction is a real thing. It is, to an extent. And they can lose all their money too. And not to undercut your point, but do you know what a chargeback is? If I get pissed wasted and I donate $10,000 to Amaranth, there's a pretty solid chance I can recover that money. Pretty solid chance I can recover that if I've decided I've made a terrible mistake. And here's the fun thing, chat. It doesn't happen very often on Twitch, but here's the deal. Twitch revenue, including bits and subs, you can charge those back. You can. You absolutely can. You shouldn't. Ideally, you should be making these things of sound body and mind. But the functionality does exist to charge back and get your money back for anything you do here on Twitch. So, for example, if you got pissed wasted and you dropped 100 subs in this channel, and then you go, oh my god, I've made a horrible mistake. First of all, please tell me. Please tell me. I won't get upset. Okay, I'll get a little upset, but I would prefer to know than not know. So at least then I can know, okay, that revenue's getting rolled back. You can then go, you can dispute the charge. And then Twitch will withhold that money and, you know, refund you. So again, the hot tub streamer angle is immediately out because, yes, if you do something stupid, you have access to consumer protection that will do this. But to return to the gambling thing and the online casinos. Hey, Lollipop, welcome on in. Again, a lot of people don't... Are loot box gacha streams affected by this? Presently not, Can't Rip. Anyway, I'd like to bring up the Steph Sterling video that very much helps to draw the stark difference between physical casinos and online casinos, because this is... Now, this is from a video that Steph did in 2019. It was, I believe, released in response to Grand Theft Auto Online adding the Diamond Casino and Resort, which is an in-game casino in Grand Theft Auto Online. And I can speak to this a little bit because Grand Theft Auto Online is one of the few contemporary online games that I do play. It has an in-game casino. It only accepts in-game currency, though you can purchase in-game currency and use it at the casino, but the traffic only flows into the game. It cannot be converted back into regular currency, at least not by legitimate means. So it is an in-game game of chance, but you do have the option to purchase in-game currency because that's the way games work these days. Is this also about the 50-50? We'll get to that, Behemoth Bear. We will get to that. So I want to put on this particular portion of the Steph Sterling video just to indicate, just to let you know in your head that yes, there is a difference between a physical casino and an online casino, because you can't do what's about to be described in this video at an online casino.
In a video game loot box, you can't win anything that even the publisher will admit is worth a damn. And on top of that, they fix the odds and can change the odds at any time. Couldn't do that if you play blackjack. I seriously, and this isn't facetious at all, I do not encourage gambling in anybody, but if you were to ask me what's worth spending money on, FIFA or a casino, GTA's Diamond Casino or an actual casino, well, I for one could personally, only speaking for myself, I could stand to have a wet weekend at the Beau Rivage. But if you join me on a wet weekend at the Beau Rivage, you gotta make the casino work for you. And that's the tricky part, since again, gambling addiction, desperation to handle debt, these are all real issues, and if you're affected by those, do not come with me for a wet weekend at the Beau Rivage. Ever. Just stay home and play a video game after you research the video game to make sure it's not one that will try and psychologically manipulate cash out of you and play on your problems. Because that's where we're at now with games, you gotta research them to make sure that they're not gonna try and prey on you. But if you handle it, give yourself an upper spending limit. I recommend $60, it's the price of a video game, and you can spend more time having fun with that than you can with most modern garbage live service games, then you're very welcome to join me. And then we make the casino work for us. I mentioned blackjack, don't actually do that, don't bother with that. The first thing you do is you go to the buffet and you load that plate up with crab. I say crab because the casinos out here in MS are by the beach, and they got that good seafood action. Whatever else happens with your day, it's already been a damn good trip because you got yourself on the outside of some sweet-ass buffet crab. What you then need to do is find the bar. The bar has little slot machines built into it, and lots of old ladies at those machines. It's just a big old pile of sweet, lovely old grannies as you take your own seats at the bar. Here, the drinks are, of course, straight up effing free, provided you're using the machine. So you put in the minimum cash each time, press the button, win or lose. Yes, I think I'll have another Jack Daniels, thank you very much, sir. And nobody said you had to press that button fast. Take your time, and you'll have plenty of fun spending money smashing a button to make colours happen like you could in many AAA video games. Now the drinks are of course free for a reason. They want you sloshed so that your senses are impaired and you may be tempted to spend more money. So you gotta be on the ball a bit, and you've gotta keep some important math in mind. And the math here is simple. So long as you leave the casino with more booze inside you than money you put in the machine, you never won't profit. And I always stagger out of the casino with a belly full of profit. As well as crabs. Sweet buffet crab. Oh, the crab. This game plan is nothing new, nothing I've innovated. I mean, fair play to the grannies, they got in there first and they're getting hammered. This game plan is codified as an old gambler's trick called the Krabby Granny Drinky Winky. Obviously, I'm being somewhat facetious, though that really is the low-stakes way I like to enjoy a wet weekend at the Beau, but the more the lines blur between in-game gambling and real gambling, the harder a case games have to make in order to justify why we shouldn't all just go to a casino and eat crab. Electronic Arts ain't never given me no seafood, and unlike with an EA game, kids aren't actually allowed to come into a casino with their parents' credit cards and spend all their money, which is a nice little bonus. Almost as if gambling is regulated, huh? Almost as if spending money on wages is something kids shouldn't be near, huh? Huh? In any case, the point is this: an actively monetized casino has no frigging place in a video game. Sure, an in-game casino that uses...
Anyway, suffice to say, you get the idea that James Stephanie Sterling here is making the argument that, oh, you know, if a game's just going to rip you off, why don't you go to an actual casino, have the casino experience, and do that? Which, again, as they have pointed out in this video, by the way, Marcus 9-star, V4, welcome on. And yes, James Stephanie Sterling is, I'm trying to remember all the descriptors. They're non-binary trans femme. They call themselves gender trash because they threw the concept of gender into trash. They're an icon. We love them. But yes, they're making the argument that, hey, you know, if you're going to lose your mind like this, go to an actual casino, get the free booze, get the free seafood, and as long as you only spend like $60, you've come out on top. Because the important thing is to get more out of that than it gets out of you. And of course, they do put the caveat on it that, okay, if you legitimately have a problem with gambling, don't fucking do this. But if you want to enjoy yourself, go do this. And that is obviously something that you cannot do in any of these weird crypto stakes.com, whatever the things that, they're doing here on the slot category on Twitch. You can't have that experience in online betting. Now, you can still get some elements of a casino going experience, I assume in like online poker and stuff like that, because very famously in poker, you don't play your hand, you play the person across from you. And even though you're not physically in the building, there's still a little bit of the tete-a-tete head game going on with the tells and the bluffs and the what have you. There is still very much a psychological game within the game that is above and beyond merely a game of chance. There is still skill involved in it, with to a lesser extent sports betting as well, because you have to know basic things like don't fucking bet on Cincinnati anytime soon. That sort of thing. So when people think of online casino, there's just something in our head that doesn't make the connection that it's not a physical location. And even if you go to a casino and lose 2-3 figures, you still went somewhere and you had a time. You went somewhere. You have experience. You have memories. You got to go, this place kind of looks like shit. That sort of thing. Whereas, you go here and it's just, you just lost all your money on a fucking website or something. So, in any event, hey, SJ, welcome on in. This does eventually lead into the next point. Twitch bans gambling, but not really. Twitch posted this while I was driving home yesterday, which continues to annoy me that Twitch always drops this shit while I'm driving a car. For reliability purposes, I didn't see this until I got home. It's not like I got the notification on my phone, pulled over, and started looking at it over here. I didn't do that. But this shit always drops when I'm driving. It annoys me. And yes, I understand that typically when I'm driving is between the hours of 2 and 3 p.m. Pacific, but this doesn't change the point that this perturbs me specifically, that this shit always drops while I'm driving. And Twitch is like, okay, don't worry, the next thing we drop won't happen while you're driving. It'll happen while you're sleeping, but we'll tell you about it later. So Twitch then bans it, but not really. Everyone involved on the get rid of it angle does the little victory laps. Pokimane does the we did it Joe moment and all that other shit. But Twitch puts out a post, and it's one of these situations where Twitch's comms people immediately go on the offensive on social media. You can tell when they think they're holding a dub because suddenly they're everywhere. They're posting, they're quote tweeting, they're even getting into the replies to people who don't necessarily agree with what's going on. You can tell when they're holding a dub, and this is where they thought they were holding a dub. Gambling content on Twitch has been a big topic of discussion in the community and something we've been actively reviewing since our last policy update in this area. Today we want to update you on the plans. While we prohibit sharing links to referral codes to all sites that include slots, roulette, or dice games, we've seen some people circumvent those rules and expose our community to potential harm. So we're making a policy update on October 18th to prohibit streaming of gambling sites that include slots, roulette, or dice games that aren't licensed either in the US
or other jurisdictions that provide sufficient consumer protection. These sites will include stake.com, rollbit.com, dualbits.com, and rubit.com. However, we may identify others as we go forward. We will continue to allow websites that focus on sports betting, fantasy sports, and poker. FanDuel and what is it? Fan Kings and DraftDuel go, oh, thank God! You can always tell when the football season is coming because they're like every third commercial on TV. Hey, come on down to Fan Kings and you can bet fucking one-day fantasy stuff and lose all your fucking money or something. This means that Latin American gambling sites are allowed. Well, this is where the other jurisdictions that provide consumer protection things come into play here. We'll share specifics on the updates to our gambling policy soon, including the full policy language to make sure everyone is clear on the new rules before they take effect on October 18th.
So this is a declaration. This isn't an actual change in the rules yet, but this is signifying, this is throwing some red meat to the people who wanted this thing taken care of, saying, all right, we listened, fine. The crypto things, the crypto gambling's gonna go. Which, of course, is going to hurt the bottom line of, the handful of upper crust streamers who are making millions of dollars off of this stuff in, promoting it, because these casinos have lots of money to, promote these things because, it's literally a license to print money. Like, I don't know if you know these things about casinos, but on a long enough timeline, the house always wins. Like, this isn't speculation. This is just how casinos work. Everything has been specifically designed to get their hands on your money. And with an online casino, especially an unregulated one in a country that does not have to worry about such things, you do we play video games sometimes on this channel. It's been known to happen on occasion. Like, for example, this Saturday, we're going to be doing some game show games. We're going to play The Price is Right. See here, on The Price is Freaking Right over here, they got this game. It's called Three Strikes. They put the little, you're trying to get a car here, right? Like, I don't know, the Dodge Shadow or something like that. In any event, they take 5 numbers in the price of the car, they put into this bag. They also put in 3 little red X's in there, and you're supposed to reach in and pull out a number. Now, when you're on the actual Price is Right, it's not fixed because those things could be anywhere and you could be pulling out any single one of them. But when we play the video game just says, oh, push this button and you'll pull one out, and the game can just decide, fuck you, you lose. That is the difference between a regulated casino and an unregulated casino. Because the unregulated one can just decide, actually, fuck you, you lose. I'm taking all your money. Bye. There's a reason why people like the gambling sites need VPN in order to play exactly USSR, dog. Hey Phoenix, by the way, welcome on in. You refuse to play actual casino games, Vegas stakes, or bust. It's funny you also mentioned that because not this Saturday, but Saturday after, we're doing casino night. We're looking to feature Casino Kid, Vegas Stakes, and Golden Nugget for the PlayStation 1. Featuring Adam West. Bring a cocktail, I'll be wearing my bunny girl outfit, it'll be fantastic. We're gonna give those 3 games a try. But yes, those casinos can just decide, fuck you, you lose. So, but Pib, sure, the online regulated casinos are more ethical, never cheat. Yeah, exactly. Soda drinker, good. Hey, drink if you got them. Drink whatever you got. Drink the soda, drink the water, drink the scotch, whatever you got. So yes, they ban it, but not really, which has some ripple effects. Obviously, the people who are advocating for this do the little victory lap. The Twitch comms people start running around because they're so happy they've got a dub. Everyone tangentially related to the Twitch Do Better thing from 2021 gets a kick in the gut. Now, maybe some of you have been here long enough that you remember that particular time on this channel. Now, we were fortunate enough to generally be spared most of what went on with that. I don't know why. Sometimes the size of this channel does ward off predators. They see it, they go, this operation looks like they got this shit together, the hell with it. And, some personal protections we take on our side, I don't say where I live.
Websites that may have my information get scrubbed routinely. We're a tougher nut to crack over here, but a lot of people had problems, a lot of big problems, and it took Twitch forever to get off the duff and even start to think about doing something about it. And then, yeah, the A-listers get exactly what they want in a day. A lot of people got a very stark reminder that show business is a very cruel mistress. Because those of us down here, hey, like I said, I even got the little check mark down there too. That don't mean shit. That don't mean I can wander into Twitch offices and be, do you know who I am? I can't do that. A lot of people above me in a pecking order can't do that. Certainly much less anyone below me can't do that. So a lot of them got the whole, okay, so you only listen to them. All right, cool. Fucking poggers. Great community we got here. Oh, yeah. Hey, yeah, speaking of community here, I was going to bust this video out later, but I'd actually like to put it on now here. This is a video, this one here, made by Big E. I'm going to put it for you here in chat. It's just called Welcome to Twitch.
Here at Twitch, we believe in manipulating our creators into thinking that Twitch is the only place where you can be successful. We do this by giving everyone a false sense of hope with an easy path to affiliation so you can monetize quickly. This is, of course, to hook you in, so that way you want to spend the next 4 years of your life grinding for Twitch Partner, which is essentially just a check mark and provides no extra benefits from Twitch Affiliate. But remember, statistically speaking, the only way to make this possible is by actually growing on another platform and then using that platform to try to drive viewers over here for us. I mean for you. And to add to this fantastic package, once you sign the Twitch affiliate, you're now committed to this platform and this platform alone. And we essentially own your content and your soul. From there, we like to make sure you feel super comfortable in your ability to be a creator on this platform by giving you no opportunity to be a creator on this platform besides being live. Basically, here on Twitch, when you're not live, your channel's dead. But wait, there's more. Over the last 3 years, Twitch has proven time and time again that this is a community-driven platform, and we do this by not giving a fuck about the community. Because here at Twitch, we like playing hard to get. Feel like you're getting screwed here? That's okay, because you are, but we're a community, and that's all that matters. Plus, some of our viewers take advantage of this opportunity and get screwed while they're live.
God bless the broad who got screwed while she was live. Respect! Someone had to find out where the line was, damn it, and they said, all right, I'm gonna find out where the line is. I love it. Someone had to find out where the line was, and by God, she found out where it was. Respect. I am not hating on this person for one single fucking second. But yes, Twitch, the community, like it's so great, and you know we're not even near the real gut punch moment here yet. We're getting there, but we're not there yet. Like I've had discussions with people about whether or not this website, the glory days are past it, and I've had people who come to me and say, "No, you kidding me? This website is great. What are you on about?" And all I gotta do is point at the last 36 hours and go, consider the following. Because that's the other thing, too. This website, it's not a platform, it's a service. Now, what do I mean by that? Pretend for a moment, well, I don't even have to say that. Look at YouTube. What are the things you can do on YouTube? You can watch videos, you can watch shorts, you can watch streams. You can post in the comments section, there's community stuff over there. What can you do on Twitch? Well, you can watch me, and that's about it. My page has pretty much no value when this isn't going on. No value whatsoever. And Twitch has been going through this extremely weird thing in the last few years because they're getting out of the platform business. They want to be a service. So if you think of a platform like Facebook where you can do multiple things, post, watch videos, there's so many things to do there. Imagine that a platform is a house. You know, you could eat food in it, you could use the bathroom, you could sleep, you could play video games. Twitch wants to be the rental car.
That's all Twitch wants to be, the rental car. You get in it, you use it just to get around, and that's it. Twitch wants to just be a rental car. They don't want to be at a resort, they want to be at a rental car. And they've been making decisions that have been moving the website in that direction. They've been doing a lot of nickel and diming lately, reducing of features, which is going to start to lead into some of the next things here. What is this article I have here? Oh yeah, Twitch cracks down on gambling, but streamers aren't sure it's enough. Let's look at Nathan Grayson here on the Washington Post, on the one fucking time that the Washington Post isn't publishing garbage. Let's have a look at this before I get any further ahead of myself here. After a whirlwind week that started with a Twitch streamer scamming his fans and other creators out of hundreds of thousands of dollars and only escalated from there, Twitch has finally cracked down on gambling. But after initially celebrating a total ban, streamers are beginning to realize Twitch's language isn't as ironclad as it seems. Twitch is yabbity blah blah bleed bleed blue. The website has turned a blind eye to gambling streams in which streamers functionally advertise gambling websites to an audience that skews young. Twitch says nearly 75% of its viewers are between the ages of 16 and 34. Around 6 to 9% of young people struggle with gambling compared to 1% of adults, according to the National Center for Responsible Gaming. In a tweet published Tuesday evening, Twitch announced that beginning in October it'll prohibit streaming of gambling sites that yabbity bleed 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 bleed. We read that before. The strikes blow to casino-style betting, but not really. So it's 2018, yibbity blah blah blah. Streamers. Oh yeah, there's XQC right there. Yeah, it's one of the people who got a lot of success over there. Sites like Stake struck deals with Twitch-grown personalities like Nicknam and Lengel, with Nicknam saying he pulls over $1 million per month from a Stake sponsorship alone. The popular gambling regular Aiden Ross seemingly received nearly that much per week. Even Drake, the rapper, got in on the action with his own Stake deal for an undisclosed sum. Oh yeah, Drake was doing Stake stuff on Twitch too. For a time, streamers paired those sponsorships with links to gambling sites and referral codes. Twitch banned those additional advertising and money-making methods last year. This change arose from a staff-led movement to curtail gambling on the platform, according to former Twitch employees who chose to remain anonymous out of fear of reprisal. The ban ultimately did little to curtail gambling. That is to say, it did fucking nothing. Many streamers are growing uncomfortable with the gambling increasingly prominent place on this platform. Viewing broadcasts as a gateway to real money gambling for impressionable viewers already familiar with gambling-inspired mechanics in and around games like Counter-Strike, Genshin Impact, and the FIFA series' Ultimate Team Mode, among others. Moreover, there's another, bigger issue. Some streamers are breaking the law by gambling on Stake, given that crypto gambling is illegal in the United States. To circumvent this, they first used a virtual private network to spoof being in another country. Then when that proved untenable, he uprooted his life and moved to Canada in 2021. There he continued to gamble on Twitch nearly every day while swearing up and down that others should not do so. In January, he said he was down $12.9 million due to gambling. Nonetheless, he and others like XQC who claim to have become addicted stick with it, hoping that their warnings and charitable efforts, like their partnership with mental health focused nonprofit Rise Above the Disorder, will be enough to offset damage done by their lucrative yet destructive career turns. It's like you're trying to be gambling neutral. You're trying to buy gambling offsets. You know, like it's fucking carbon neutral shit. You're trying to become gambling neutral. Ugh. With Twitch, the effectiveness... oh yeah, that's the other thing too. It's a move that mirrors entities in a sports betting space like the NFL, which has poured $6 million into National Council on Problem Gambling, despite partnering with sports betting sites like DraftKings and FanDuel. The NFL has gone all balls in on sports betting. Christ, I'm old enough to remember Pete Rose couldn't get into the Hall of Fame because he was betting on his own games, and now here we are. We're through the looking glass. Now they want everyone to gamble, bet all your shit and lose it all. With Twitch, the effectiveness of this approach is debatable. In August, Bloomberg published a report on Twitch viewers who've lost tens of thousands of dollars to gambling sites after watching their favorite streamers try their luck day in and day out. All this culminated in a week of pure chaos on Twitch. On Saturday, a streamer who goes by the handle It's Slicker admitted to borrowing money from other streamers, including big names like Hasanabi and Nicknam, under false pretenses. And this is where the fraud part comes in here. Claiming his bank account had been frozen or his Twitch payments hadn't come through and he just needed money to keep his head above water. And so many of you can already tell where the story is going before I even get to the next sentence. Because this is what addiction does to bank accounts. The money just mysteriously vanishes. Don't know where it went. It vanished into the ether. Don't know where it went. Could you spot me some money? I don't know where the money went. I know where the money went. I don't want to tell you because I want to continue to enjoy the thing that I'm not supposed to be enjoying. And this isn't just for gambling, but for the purposes of the discussion and for the fact that I have not issued other content warnings, we will leave it with gambling. We'll leave it with gambling. We'll do that. That's just really bad. He failed to pay friends back for months or years. He had gambled away around $200,000. And then, keep going on. He admitted it. That deserved punishment, blah, blah, blah. Despite the fact that its liquor is apparent addiction centered around sports gambling. Because that's the other thing, too, is the upper crust who wanted gambling banned. This guy actually didn't gamble on the stream very much. So it's almost like it was a really weird proxy war for them to just go after people they didn't like under false pretenses, but still trying to get a good done in the process. Like, this is a thing sometimes. Righteousness is a hell of a drug. I know the line is supposed to be cocaine is a hell of a drug, but righteousness is a hell of a drug. There was a tweet someone had a few weeks ago. I gotta dig it up, where it's like, people aren't looking to be morally good people. They just want to find people that it's morally acceptable to bully and just bully those people. And that's kind of what was going on here, where it would be considered morally acceptable to bully this person who is lying about their gambling addiction and borrowing money from people under false pretenses. In the end, they're still, achieving a net good, but it's very much with an agenda. Now, that doesn't mean that they shouldn't do it, but it's the flavor text, it's the story behind the story. Clout, yeah, that's certainly possible, but yeah, it's that's what I was telling people. It's a proxy war. That's all it is. They're gonna accomplish something good with it, but it's a proxy war. They're going to war with each other, and then they'll all kiss and make up and sing Kumbaya later. And the rest of the story, I'm just gonna link in here. Me including this article was kind of an afterthought here. I just figured it'd be good for setting up some of the background for tonight's program. Who is this dashing individual? What do they do with PiBcast? Hey, Stone Prophet. We're covering deep news shit this evening. Let me bring the graphic back up here just for a little laugh here, just because we're about 90 minutes in. I'm gonna refresh this here. In response to multiple breaking stories, Resident Evil with Queen Pib will not be seen tonight. Instead, we have ongoing news coverage. Okay, you don't have to do that animation again. Fuck it. I knew that was gonna happen, and I could have prevented that, but I guess I just chose not to. So, as a reminder, there is content warnings out on tonight's program. We have a command, and the bot is also occasionally spitting it out. The content warnings include, but they may not necessarily be limited to, addiction, gambling, sexual assault, and child predators. And a lot of you may be going, I've been here 90 minutes, you haven't mentioned that part. Oh, we're getting there. So anyway, as we've set the stage here, Twitch, Monday afternoon announces, or is it Tuesday afternoon? Yeah, Tuesday afternoon, yesterday. They announced, okay, we're kinda sort of gonna get rid of the gambling. The people calling for it got through the victory lap. Every marginalized person on Twitch got to go, what the fuck is this bullshit? Then you may be going, huh. Now, normally, Twitch news drops don't come in bunches, but there have been rumblings that this was going to be a weird month for Twitch, especially in the lead up to TwitchCon. And the other shoe would eventually drop, but not at a time that one would have expected it to. Which brings us to our next headline. Twitch drops the revenue split denial at 2:57 a.m. Pacific. This dropped at 3 a.m. where the Twitch offices are, but specifically 2:57 a.m. Pacific, which is very odd because these things generally tend to drop in broad daylight. What a very odd time for a news drop. I was asleep. I didn't know this was going on until I woke up and saw the email on my phone that said that the 70-30 split user voice thing that I'd signed on was being declined. They dropped it in the middle of the night. What a weird thing to drop in the middle of the night. I wonder why they felt like they needed to drop this at 2:57 a.m. in the morning. We'll get to that. But first, why don't we have a look at this? Let's glance through this letter from Twitch President Dan Clancy on subscription revenue shares. Let's have a look at that, shall we? Dropped in the middle of goddamn night. It must be important. Oh, look, there's the graphic in case you forgot what website we were on.
Hello, Twitch community. I'm Dan Clancy, president of Twitch and responsible for the day-to-day operations of the service. FYI, this blog is targeted to streamers, but everyone is, of course, welcome to read along with us.
Oh god, I can't do that voice the whole time. You get the idea. This morning, we reached out to a subset of streamers about some upcoming changes to their agreement terms. And that email is further down this article. This blog gives us an opportunity to be clear with all streamers on Twitch about those changes and talk more broadly about our strategy to help streamers make more money on our service. Our service. Our service. Streamers are and always will be. You know, I suddenly have an odd compulsion to watch this video again.
Here at Twitch, we believe in manipulating our creators into thinking that Twitch is the only place where you can be successful. We do this by giving everyone a false sense of hope with an easy path to affiliation so you can monetize quickly. This is, of course, to hook you in. So that way you want to spend the next 4 years of your life grinding for Twitch Partner, which is essentially just a check mark. It provides no extra benefits from Twitch Affiliate. But remember, statistically speaking, the only way to make this possible is by actually growing on another platform and then using that platform to try to drive viewers over here for us. I mean for you. And to add to this fantastic package, once you sign the Twitch affiliate, you're now committed to this platform and this platform alone. And we essentially own your content and your soul. From there, we like to make sure you feel super comfortable in your ability to be a creator on this platform by giving you no opportunity to be a creator on this platform besides being live. Basically, here on Twitch, when you're not live, your channel's dead. But wait, there's more. Over the last 3 years, Twitch has proven time and time again that this is a community-driven platform, and we do this by not giving a fuck about the community. Because here at Twitch, we like playing hard to get. Feel like you're getting screwed here? That's okay, because you are, but we're a community, and that's all that matters. Plus, some of our viewers take advantage of this opportunity and get screwed while they're live.
Again, bless that individual. I don't know what it is. I just got like 2 paragraphs in and just felt I needed to watch that clip again. Hey, Kay, how you doing? Welcome on in. Yeah, because that's the thing. Twitch, like if you're an affiliate, you have a little bit more freedom, but as a partner, there's restrictions on where and when I can stream. Now they're adapting some of it because they're trying to soften the blow ahead of things like this. Streamers aren't always be the foundation of a global community. It's your passion, hard work, yeah, blah, 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 blah. To bring it back around more directly to this blog's topic, we can't run the service unless you make money. That's not a drawback, it's by design. This innate partnership is why we support all streamers' careers and ambitions like they're our own. Yes, what a normal time to drop a review. Yeah, 3 a.m., so no kidding. Before we talk about what's happening next, we need to share some information for context. For subscriptions, we use a baseline revenue share of 50-50 on the net revenue from those earnings. The vast majority of Twitch streamers have these terms in their agreement. However, for some time, we did offer standard agreements with premium subscription terms to select streamers as they grew larger. This isn't something we've talked about publicly, but such deals are common knowledge within the streamer community. What they're talking about is there was a happy time on his website where if you were consistently pulling in 500 unique subscriptions, that's no primes, no gifts, just 500 regular ass subs on a long enough timeline, you could negotiate for a higher sub split. The stock sub splits for affiliates is 50% across the board. For partners, it's 50-50 on tier 1, 60-40 on tier 2, 70-30s on tier 3s. I don't know if I'm supposed to fucking say that, but I don't give a shit. However, those who are fortunate enough to have the kinds of large followings could negotiate for a 70-30 split across the board. And hey, if you could get that coin, go get it. Go get it. But this is where the rest of this article is going. Historically, we didn't have a consistent framework to determine who would receive those deals and when. Bullshit! Over a year ago, we made the decision to begin to stop offering these premium agreements to new streamers not already on these terms. This is a lie. This is a lie. They had a framework. This is a lie. This is the first actual press exit out of this article. This is a lie. This is a falsehood. There absolutely was a consistent framework. There absolutely was. This is a lie. As we reflected on how we handled these premium deals, we realized a few problems. First, we had not been transparent about the existence of such deals. Oh, don't worry, Twitch, this ain't out of character for you. You're about as transparent as this jacket. Transparency is not one of its strengths, and you know we don't expect transparency of you. You've managed to wear the bar down so much that this isn't something we actively expect from you ever. So don't worry about it. Second, we were not consistent in qualification criteria, and they generally went to larger streamers. Well, yeah, they're not gonna offer it to me. They're not gonna offer it to the affiliates. Like, that's the other thing. Like some of you be going, Pibby, you're speaking up against the platform. Aren't you worried you're gonna get in trouble? What are they gonna do? Not do stuff with me? They already don't do stuff with me. What am I gonna lose? I'm not on their little queer Rolodex of people that they bust out whenever they want to do something. They won't let me sniff the front page because apparently the requirements for front page is you have to have 3 months of 200 standalone subs. So I can't sniff the front page. I'm not one of the Rolodex guys. What the fuck do I care? What are they gonna do? Do even less with me? My bag is secured whether this whole site goes tits up or not. This is my hobby. This is not my main source of income. The light stays on whether the show does well or not. My bag is secured. I don't give a fuck. So, finally, we don't believe it's right for those on standard contracts to have varied revenue shares based on the size of the streamer. Sure. In an ideal world, all streamers would be on the same set of terms, regardless of size. However, instituting that policy would have a negative impact on the streamers currently on these terms, many of whom were instrumental in helping us build the Twitch we know today. AKA, we want to just kind of piss you off instead of make you rage quit the entire platform. Because this is Twitch turning their pockets inside out and going to the major breadwinners, their closers, and going, hey, guess what? You know how you make money? What if you made less money? What if that? And a lot of this people, and I don't know if you've been watching Twitch today, but a lot of the people who qualify for this are pissed the fuck off. I have been told through the grapevine that the Twitch Ambassador Discord is very spicy. Very spicy. And a lot of the people who have these deals, the people who are able to make Twitch their livelihood, they're obviously very upset because now the platform is coming for their bag. And they have every right to be angry, every right to be upset. By the way, this also means that in a 12-hour, not even a 12-hour period, a 10-hour period, Twitch is pissed off
the marginalized smaller creators, and their upper crust. Congratulations! Twitch refining and innovating on brand new ways to piss everybody off at once. These streamers have come to depend on the additional revenue split to maintain their standard of living. For these streamers still on these premium deals, we're adjusting the deal so that they retain their 70-30 revenue split share for the first $100,000 earned through subscription revenue. Revenue above $100,000 will be split at the standard 50-50 share split. Now, let's read that again here, chat, just in case, you didn't hear that the first time. Once these people make $100K on their 70-30 revenue split, Twitch is going to skim 28% off of their future earnings for the duration of the year. Yeah. So they're letting them keep it up to $100,000, and then they're taking away 28% of their revenue. Yeah. Now, before I even finish the rest of this sentence, suppose for a moment that you're someone on one of these deals who lives in a place with a lower cost of living, say a Wisconsin or an Indiana or a Georgia or something. This isn't going to hit you nearly as much as someone who lives in a place with a high cost of living. Say, I don't know, California, where it costs a little bit more to live. My arm keeps going up. Just a smidge. Oh yeah, and that 100%, as Cupcake points out, is pre-tax. Not post-tax, pre-tax. Yeah. Pre-tax. Yeah, no one should live in California move. I mean, a lot more to live. Exactly, Solo Dante. And yes, I mean, that's the other thing too, between, the state being on fire, the cost of living, the big ones showing up someday. Honestly, anyone who could leave the state of California honestly should. If you, that's the actual thing. Due to remote work, people who can leave California have actually already left California. That's the thing. They've already left. They went remote and they moved into the Midwest and the other place with lower cost of living and are driving the property values up there. So this exodus from California has already happened. Hey, Klaus, welcome on in. We're announcing this change now, but it won't go into effect until after June 1st, 2023. After that point, streamers will only be affected once their existing contract is up for renewal. Like, a lot of these contracts are up for renewal. In fact, Hassan has been quite open about the fact that his 2-year Twitch contract is up very soon. Now, granted, he has the ability to negotiate because, he's a 50K Andy. He can negotiate a better deal for himself. But, your 3-figure Andes, your 4-figure Andes, they're not going to have the fucking clout. They're going to have no choice but to take this shit sandwich. You have me up on your TV. You feel like how your mom feels watching the news. Love that, Hebe. In Artifact, my senior... Now, for everyone in chat who doesn't know this, Artifact is my senior financial affairs correspondent, so anything Faye has to say, I listen. So let's rephrase Twitch's statement. After the first $50,000 to $60,000 a year you make, you get a take-home pay cut of 28%. Yeah. That way displays that. Again, this is kind of a different show to what I normally do, so it may sometimes take me a while to notice individuals, but suffice to say, I see this shit in chat. I see this stuff. All streamers with these terms have already received this information and more via email, and we will make sure to give them the exact updates and timelines as we get closer to June 1st, 2023. For approximately 90% of streamers on standard agreements with premium subscription terms, this change will not affect them at their current revenue. For example, for me, I don't have these deals. I get the same deal they give every other Twitch partner, but this is the 50-50 for one, the 60-40 for two, the 70-30 for three. By the way, as a pointless extra thing that I'll mention here, no relation whatsoever, I don't give a flying fuck if people subscribe to this channel or not. If you wanna, I don't know,
pull your sub and get Twitch Turbo and never see an ad on a stupid website again, or if you got a kick-ass thing that makes it so you don't see that shit, I don't care. Drop your sub. I don't give a fuck. I do this because I can. This doesn't, again, this doesn't keep the lights on. I do this for funsies. So, you know, if you're the sort of person who's like, you know, I'd like to never see ads again. You know, get the turbo and have to worry about shit again. I don't give a fuck. Or you could be like Banzai Merlin and extend the gift sub you just got from me. That shit works too. The point being that I don't need the revenue on this website to do well. I already do quite well. For those who are affected, we wanted to make sure the impact was minimal. Oh yeah, like a 28% pay cut is minimal. Oh, this is the best part. This is the best part. This is the best part. Not just by giving them ample time before the deal goes into effect, I don't know, move to another fucking state, but also by offering an alternative way to earn revenue. Our recent bump in ads revenue share to 55% as part of the ad incentive program is a great way for those larger streamers to make up most, if not all, of that revenue. Have you considered running 6 minutes of ads? There's a really fun thing that happened a few weeks ago. People figured out something that I found out a very long time ago just by paying attention. Some people have been operating under the failed assumption that if they ran 3 minutes of ads, I think it's 3 minutes, it was either 3 minutes or 6 minutes of ads, some large number, that they would turn off pre-roll. Okay, 3. They were laboring under the misguided notion that if they ran 3 minutes of ads and as a one-shot, it would turn off pre-roll for the hour. No, it doesn't. It only turns it off for 40-minute maximum. You can only turn off pre-roll for 40 minutes, not an hour. So basically, you may as well have only run 2 minutes of ads. So that means every 30 minutes, you'd have to run a minute and a half, or every 40 minutes, you'd have to run 2 if you wanted to keep pre-roll off. You can't just run it all as the one shot and turn that shit off. Doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way at all. You've mentioned before in my chat a certain streamer that you watch who took the full figure ad deal and compare them as she is the last 3 months in a marked drop in subs. That, I want to say a friend of the channel, Zach Bussey, is doing a deep dive on ad statistics as well as post-partner dips. It is a subject that he is researching quite... He's very much working on it. Now, I will say, for full disclosure, we do not run preset ad breaks on the channel. In fact, we don't run any at all. I never push the button, except for that one time Rio pushed it by accident. But I don't run them. They just run whenever they run. I don't give a fuck. Which means, you know, sometimes the action gets interrupted. And, you know, there's nothing I can do about that because this is Twitch's fucking website. Yes, what a great way to become an inflation. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Mr. Star, welcome on in. How you doing? So, by the way, do you want to see the past 4 ad deals that I've gotten? Do you want to see all the ad deals I've gotten at this point? Because I'm a Twitch partner and they offer that shit to me. Do you? Oh, I know you do. Oh, I know you do. This was the first month that they were offered to me. This would have been, I think June going into July. I'm not sure. But this was the first one I ever got. So, for a background, I will say that on any given month, I will earn without doing anything, I will earn anywhere from $25 to $35 worth of ad revenue on this platform. Just by showing up and doing what I do. I don't proactively run ads, but based on however they run, I'll make anywhere from $25 to $35. So, the first offer they came to me was, well, if you stream 74 hours in a month and run a minute of ads, we'll guarantee you $25. That's not 25 on top of what I was already making. No, we'll pay you $25. Oh, but it gets even better if I ran 2 minutes, $33. And if I ran 3 minutes of ads an hour, which wouldn't stop pre-roll for shit, I could have made $38. Suffice to say, we did not take this deal. Suffice to say, that didn't happen. Just kind of left it unread, as I've been doing. Your Sona makes this living. You make a living from ad rev on YouTube, and this is laughable. I know, right? Almost like that's why I'm starting to leverage my YouTube operation again, see if I can start getting that thing monetized again, because wouldn't that be sweet? Is that a per month deal? Yes, that would be for the calendar month in which the deal was offered, which I think it was either going to be for May or for June. I can't remember, but that would have been for the month. And yes, that means running more ads and getting less per minute. Yeah. Like, going out of my way to run ads could conceivably have gotten me less money than if I had just done nothing. But okay. Twitch saw that and went, okay, all right, next month we'll offer a little bit more. How about, and this is how I know the ads program is drunk. I want to say for the period in which this deal was going on, it was kind of a down month for the program, but there's multiple factors for that. I just started to kick off the experimental summer where we just threw all the Resident Evil out the window and just did whatever the fuck I felt like. It's the summer, so viewership goes down in general because the Midwest is thawed out. Everyone's doing nice things. It happens in all forms of entertainment. It's typically the summers when shit goes down, so you experiment. It's natural. And for some reason, the offers went up. 1 minute of ads would have gotten me $60. I almost took this one. I almost took it. I didn't, but they were close. And then went, okay, $59. Okay, how about 105? 194. Now, if this was my main source of revenue, I'd have considered this. As it happens, it's not, so I told them to go fuck themselves. The next month. Oh, what is it they like to say on Deal or No Deal? The offer has gone down. 28, 38, 43. Which looks almost like the first offer, but not fully. But suffice to say, if I wasn't going to take this, I certainly wasn't going to take this. Hey, Princess, welcome on. I certainly wasn't going to take this. Which this all has to be automated. No one checks these. Oh yeah, they're completely automated. You want to see the first offer you're going to Behemoth? Oh yeah, sure. This is the first offer. Yeah, who would take this deal? Yeah, I got no fucking idea. I think I shitposted something on like the day that these things dropped. Are you familiar with Zach? Do you remember that movie, The Dark Knight, starring Christian Bale and a bunch of other people? There's this scene early on where the Scarecrow is doing like this drug deal with these Russian or these Eastern European gangsters, and he's just something to the effect of, "I said that my compound would take you places. I never said they were places you wanted to go." And I photoshopped it so it was the Twitch glitch logo over the face. And I said, "I promised you ad rates. I never said they were ad rates you wanted. I promised you reliable income. I didn't say it'd be any good." That was my shitpost on that day. I'm going to have to dig that up sometime. Which brings us to this month's offer. Like, you wonder about the ones over 10K per month. Like, you think they would have... Yeah, it's all fucking automated. Like, this offer was based off the fact that in the previous 30, I'd only streamed 74 hours. That's what that offer is based off of. This one was not. I did not do 65 in the last 30. I did not do 78 in the last 30 there. Which, of course, leads me to this month's offer. This is the offer I have pending right now. For the month of October, you can see not much has changed. Evie says, this is literally almost the amount you would make from ad breaks in a month if you streamed every day in a month. Yeah, no kidding. So if I ran 3 minutes of ads, I could make $44. Whoa. Check out the fucking high spender over here. Check that shit out. Look at this great reliable income. Now, granted, the 3-4 figure Andes are going to make, probably better deals than this, but are you telling me that this is truly going to offset the people who have 70-30 deals when you knock them down to 50-50 after the first 100K? Is this really going to recoup the 28% you're going to be skimming off the top? Because here's the other thing too. This already existed as a product before this was announced. Now, there's been murmurings from people indicating that the 70/30 and indeed a lot of the partner program was going to get gutted. As I've stated before, Twitch is now part of Amazon's entertainment platform. Twitch is increasingly under the gun to make money. Lots of money. Or else Jeff Bezos is going to come by with a pillow and just take the whole website and put it out of its freaking misery or sell it to somebody else. So they're under a lot of pressure to make a lot of money. And this is one of the ways they're doing it, by making the ad experience even more insufferable. Because the ad experience, it's not great. Like, here's the other thing too. And I stated this on the day that I got my first offer for this. I am not opposed to running ads. I remember traditional broadcast television. For every 20 minutes of television program, they ran 10 minutes of ads. It was basically a 2-to-1 ratio, more or less. I understand the need to run ads, and hell, I run the kind of program that could run ads. I don't do collaborative content. I don't play online games with no pause button. I could stop the show on a dime and run an ad break. I legitimately could. But I looked at this and went, you fucked. Why would I go out of my way to stop the show when this is what you're offering me? I wouldn't. Yeah, oddly enough, the ad experience on YouTube ain't that insufferable. Sometimes you watch the ad, sometimes the ad is unskippable because the ad is so short, and that's it. That's it. That's it. EB says, you were telling someone you'd be shocked if the partner program is around in 2 years at this rate. I mean, me too. Honestly, this is the other thing. And let's go back to the article here. This is not going to be the end of it. This is only the beginning. The partner program is going to be eviscerated in some manner of speaking. Because again, you can see they're already coming for the sub-split for those who have it. And they're already going, run more ads, idiots! Just run more ads! This ain't the end of it, especially when you factor in that Twitch continues to make overtures suggesting that we should branch ourselves out to TikTok and YouTube and what have you. Almost like they're trying to assuage the guilt over the fact this website might not even be here in 4 years. Which, what did I call that command? Let me see if I can dial it up here. I think I just called it yubtub. Let me bring up yubtub here. I think I just say yubtub and bot does. Oh yeah, beautiful. Completely unrelated. Do you like my stuff? What if I told you could watch edited stuff of my stuff? And also, if this whole website went sideways, you wanted to maybe see where I would be streaming if for some reason we couldn't stream here anymore. Go ahead on over there and tickle that follow button and maybe even watch some content. We got a brand new video that just dropped today. One of my video editors, Pixie Cat Games, put out a lovely little compilation of that evening we spent playing the cursed 42-in-1 console game. Check that shit out. It's a very nice video. And maybe I even make stuff that's exclusively for that and not for Twitch. Like, you know, that ad about Saul Kamen. Y'all know the Saul Kamen ad. Well, you're gonna have to go over there and watch it because I'm not posting it here. You're gonna have to do that. Anyway, for those that are interested in additional detail, we provided a copy of the email that we have sent to some of those streamers explaining the change and how it will affect them. It's the reality of our business that we will, in rare cases, continue to negotiate, blah, blah. Why not 70-30? Oh, God, this is the other thing that's just going to make you reflexively throw up. When we first established a 50-50 revenue share split, it was to signal that we're in this together. Already, I'm vomiting internally. I could just stop reading the whole thing right here. I could stop reading it all right here because you can already see where this is going. We're a family, which is corporate culture for we want to abuse the shit out of you. We want to wreck you. We want to guilt you. We want to get more out of you than you're getting out of us. This kind of pedantic bullshit. Funny, remember, we're in this together. We're not working as a healthcare worker during the pandemic. Yeah, no shit. How does the payout compare to YouTube? You know, I'd love to find out. Someday, hey, people watching enough of my YouTube stuff, maybe I'll be able to monetize again. Who knows? You do all the amazing work you do to create great content, engage with your audience, and grow communities, which we don't because we're a service now and we've decided to destroy all discoverability. On our side of the partnership, it's our responsibility to make continuous investments in the products and people that make your growth possible. When? When are you making those investments? You've been telling us to fuck off and do stuff elsewhere. When? What? Huh? What are you doing? You've literally told us to fuck off and do things elsewhere. How is this supposed to make our growth possible? You've been telling us to fuck off. You've been telling us in no uncertain terms to fuck off. I got an email in my box on Monday inviting me to a seminar to learn how to do shit on YouTube. Let me find that email. Oh yeah, I got this email. Oh, actually, I guess I got it yesterday. You're invited. Take your YouTube channel to the next level with a special guest webinar with Superbam. You're invited to a special guest webinar on Thursday, September 29th at 1 p.m. Pacific. Fuck you, I'm not taking time off work to attend this shit. With Wally from Superbam, who will be going over how to optimize your YouTube channel for Twitch, including... I'm not reading the rest of this crap. You do enjoy the borderline Zell voice. It's very appropriate for this email, isn't it? Hey, Jeremy, welcome on in. Hey, Bron Zacharias as well. Hey, Shadow Raven as well. Anyway, at this time of this posting, more than 22,000 of you have weighed in on user voice, asking us to move all streamers to 70/30 and pay streamers faster. Let's chat about the latter part first. As you probably blah 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 trying to soften the blow. Investment like this, they're blah 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 trying to soften the blow. Prime subs blah 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 trying to soften the blow. Lastly, we have to talk about the cost of our service. Delivering high definition, low latency, non 4K, barely capable of doing 1080p video. Oh, I'm sorry, is that not written in the statement? Because that's the problem. It's very difficult to effectively do 1080p video on this platform. In fact, it's why a lot of people who know that they're going to be doing intense first-person gameplay actually dumb their stream resolution down like 960 or something. They don't do 1080p because Twitch does not really have this capability, but anyway, go on, boss. Using the published rates from Amazon Web Services Interactive Video Service, which is essentially Twitch video. Now, published rates. So this is where it gets weird. They say using published rates, but it's like, is that the rate you're getting? Because apparently Twitch doesn't want to say how much they're actually spending for server costs. They're only going by the published rates, so, you know. This is not the actual one they're getting. They're spitballing based off an imaginary number, and this is where it gets even better. Live video costs for a 100 viewer Andy who streams 200 hours a month or more than $1,000 per month. We typically don't talk about this because, frankly, you shouldn't have to think about it. Actually, I would like to think about this for a second. They have just invented a streamer who doesn't exist, or at least a very, very rare streamer. A 100 viewer Andy who streams 200 hours a month. First of all, 200 hours a month is more time than I spend at my actual job in a month. I don't know if you noticed, but I work an office job, I work in IT. I'm required to be at my job 8 hours plus 30 minutes because corporate bullshit. So really, I'm in the office 8.5 hours a day. And let's see, 8 times 4 is 40. And okay, if there are 5 full things in a month, that's barely about as much as I spend in the office. And this person is only getting 100 views? What the fuck is this person doing? Because that's the other thing too. If I could afford to stream 200 hours a month, yeah, this operation would probably be in the stratosphere. I don't have that kind of time to do that because I work a job. Because Twitch ain't paying the bills. So I'm like, who is this streamer you've used as your hypothetical? Who? Who is this? Like, usually the 200, like, I'm not saying that it's not possible to stream for 200 hours and only get 100 viewers, but like, that, I feel like that would be the exception. Now, granted, I also posted on the shitposting account, and then someone actually replied to it with a statistic showing that they had streamed for 377 hours and had a 0.7 viewer average. And I didn't look into it much beyond replying and saying, what the fuck were you streaming? A test pattern? Are there even 377 hours in a month? I don't know. I'd have to run the calculations. I'm sure there are, but anyway. That's the other thing too is, well, you're streaming 377 hours. The thing was for 200, so already it's, yeah. So. Anyway. We'd rather you focus on doing what you do best, but why not 70-30 is because, we don't want to... When someone asks me why Twitch is the best place to make money as a streamer, my answer starts first and foremost with community, which, oh god, I feel like watching this video again.
Here at Twitch, we believe in manipulating our creators into thinking that Twitch is the only place where you can be successful. We do this by giving everyone a false sense of hope with an easy path to affiliation so you can monetize quickly. This is, of course, to hook you in, so that way you want to spend the next 4 years of your life grinding for Twitch Partner, which is essentially just a check mark and provides no extra benefits from Twitch Affiliate. But remember, statistically speaking, the only way to make this possible is by actually growing on another platform and then using that platform to try to drive viewers over here for us. I mean for you. And to add to this fantastic package, once you sign the Twitch affiliate, you're now committed to this platform and this platform alone. And we essentially own your content and your soul. From there, we like to make sure you feel super comfortable in your ability to be a creator on this platform by giving you no opportunity to be a creator on this platform besides being live. Basically, here on Twitch, when you're not live, your channel's dead. But wait, there's more. Over the last 3 years, Twitch has proven time and time again that this is a community-driven platform, and we do this by not giving a fuck about the community. Because here at Twitch, we like playing hard to get. Feel like you're getting screwed here? That's okay, because you are, but we're a community, and that's all that matters. Plus, some of our viewers take advantage of this opportunity and get screwed while they're live.
Sorry, I am legally required to do the rim shot when that video ends, just because it's such a good line to end on. Anyway, we're nearly done with that article. Where were we? Oh yeah, there's another thing I'll talk about once we get there. Community on Twitch is real and tangible, and we're gonna piss it down our leg the first chance we get. From chat memes, subscribe remotes, to TwitchCon meetups, and yes, to how streamers earn money. That's partially because, oh god, I'm not even, you know what? If you want to read this crap yourself, I'm gonna just post it here, but honestly, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. So anyway, to recap, this dropped at 2:57 a.m. 2:57 a.m. What an odd time for these things to drop. Typically they drop. It would make more sense if it dropped to 2:57 p.m. Pacific. Why did this have to drop in the middle of the night? This is where all the content warnings start coming into place here, chat, because this is where the story takes a turn. Such a turn that I'm actually stopping the attract music, because this is where it gets really fucking serious. A news story in Bloomberg dropped 2 hours later that Twitch knew was coming, because they commented on it. They were reached for comment, and they commented on it. So they knew, they had advanced warning, that a major Bloomberg story was going to drop, and they put this out in front of it to try and get ahead of it. And for the most part, it worked. For the most part, this has been the story today. People talking about this and speculating about the future of Twitch. But this did not necessarily have to drop in the middle of the night. They wanted to get out ahead of something. Because this happens sometimes. There could be some sort of mandated disclosure that has to occur from like a government or a corporation. They love to drop these things on like Friday nights or on holidays. get it in and out of the news cycle really quick so nobody notices. This happens a lot more often than you'd think. And in this case, Twitch chose to start a fire to put out an even bigger one. The real story. They tried to bury this story in Bloomberg that dropped today. The headline reads as follows: Twitch's problem with child predators. This is what dropping the 70-30 split news in the middle of the night was meant to distract from. This story. The story does not pull punches. The content warnings are there for a reason. We're going to read it. It will be upsetting. It will be disturbing. And it will be the story that Twitch tried to kill. For which I will already tell you my opinion. It's disgusting that they chose to do this. Like, my reason for not attending TwitchCon was because my flight carrier fucked up all my flights and I went to hell with it. That they tried to bury the story has retroactively become the reason why I'm not going to TwitchCon. I don't want to catch whatever airborne stupid virus is going around this company. I don't want to catch the airborne stupid virus. Like, this is the other thing, too, and I mentioned it earlier. How the Twitch comms people will very much go running around when they think they're holding a dub. When stories like this break, they suddenly get very quiet. You don't see or hear them anywhere. They don't have things to say. Because they know they're not carrying a dub, they're carrying an L. And again, like I said, if for your mental health you have to withdraw from this, this is your final warning. Again, this is going to get very deep, very disturbing. All right. There we go. In mid-August, two young girls sitting in a bedroom started broadcasting themselves on Amazon.com Inc.'s live streaming service, Twitch, website Twitch. I will also link this for you in chat. The content of this article includes mentions of child predation and online abuse and may be disturbing to some readers. It has an intro with graphics. So it's got some artwork here that I don't know if it's simulating what a thing looked like or it is what it looked like. I am not going to read that portion off. I'm not going to do it. A large stuffed unicorn situated on a bed behind them soon exited the frame when one viewer, in a text chat, instructed the girls to place their smartphone camera on a table so their full bodies were in view. Oh, there's a little 16 counter down there. Very nice. This part I'm not going to read off. Okay. The viewer then asked them to perform handstands and TikTok dances. 16 people watched. You know yourself why they were asked to do these things. Moments later, the same Twitch user entered another girl's channel. This person again requested the child perform dances popular on TikTok. This time, 254 people watched. Within 45 minutes, the person, whose age and identity are unknown, had found and followed 4 other young girls on Twitch. Child predators use Twitch to systematically track kids' live streaming. The gaming platform's design enables people to find and exploit kids in real time. See, this is the part of the internet people know is there, but they generally don't always want to confront that it is there. Because, like, a lot of us, if I had just mentioned this as a thing without an article, you'd go, yeah, that tracks, it's the internet, it's fucked up, it's whatever. And especially, now, I'm not, let me preface this, I'm not suggesting anything ever happened to me. But, what I can say is that I know this stuff exists because I have seen some of this stuff try to be a thing. I am old enough to remember Yahoo Chat. Back in the day, I'm going to bring the music up for this one. Back in the day, you had your AIM, your MSN Messenger, your Yahoo Chat. In fact, Yahoo Chat is how Ryu and I met. On Yahoo Chat. we got to talking, and we were friends for a long time, and then when something happened over there, we went to MSN, and then we at some point decided to meet up, and well, we're here now, so clearly something went right, I guess. But there was this really interesting thing, and by interesting I mean sickening, that used to occur on Yahoo Chat, and it went on for quite some time until some people found out and got very pissed off about it. Yahoo used to have the ability to create custom chat rooms where you could name it whatever you want, and ads for like McDonald's or Pepsi or whatever would run on it. Just little banner ads, like kind of like the kind that used to be on the internet. Just like these little GIFs with like 3 frames that probably were like 10 seconds long or something. Nothing too intrusive. Just a banner. And these rooms would say things like 40-year-old man looking for 13-year-old girl. Stuff like that. Whether in jest or for serious, I couldn't tell you, but I can verify that that was the case because I was there and I seen those. That was absolutely there. 1,000,000% there. Which resulted in a hit piece that I think, I want to say it was the Nebraska Network affiliate ran a hit piece on Yahoo Chat as a regional story, which quickly gained traction. And, as you can see here, Yahoo forced to shut down user-created rooms. I will link the story for you here. This is from 2005. The web flourished as a freewheeling medium that gave any interest in audience, but as big businesses try to capitalize on those audiences, advertisers increasingly find their brands popping up on the internet's darkest corners. Yahoo Inc., the most popular internet site, what a time! Shut down all of its user-created chat rooms this week after 3 blue-chip companies found their online ads running alongside discussions of sex with children. PepsiCo, State Farm, and Georgia Pacific Group all pulled at least some ads from Yahoo in an incident that underscores the risks of an era in which the masses create their own media. Ads from the 3 companies appeared in Yahoo chat rooms with such titles as Girls 13 and Under for Older Guys. We were horrified, said Georgia Pacific spokeswoman Robin Keegan. The company, maker of Dixie cups, brawny paper towels, and quilted northern toilet tissue, pulled all of its Yahoo advertising and hasn't returned. The Yahoo flap was an extreme example of the anything-goes, unregulated spirit of the early internet colliding with community values and corporate concerns. Record and movie companies have complained that their ads sometimes appear on the same file-sharing networks that allow millions of people to rip off their products. And some companies have seen their online campaigns hijacked by spyware. Internet advertising is surging to record highs as the percentage of homes with high-speed connections rises. Online ad rates topped 2.8 billion in the first quarter of this year, up 26% from 2004. Sunnyvale-based Yahoo posted 2004 revenues of 3.6 billion, most of it from advertising. Some advertisers, however, are realizing just how little they know about what their money is getting them. Over the past month, pressure has been building on Yahoo to crack down on chat rooms that promoted sex with minors. Yahoo's move came after a lawsuit was filed against the internet portal last month on behalf of a 12-year-old victim, and following a long campaign by watchdog groups to persuade Sunnyvale-based Yahoo and other large internet portals to purge their sites of the suit seeks to $10 million in damages. The specific reason for the closure notwithstanding, this is a positive step in the online fight against child exploitation, said Michelle Collins, director of the Exploited Children Unit at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. But after years of trying to persuade Yahoo to go after child pornographers operating within the chat rooms, critics suspect the threat of a costly civil suit and the potential loss of advertising dollars likely prompted Yahoo to act. Yahoo spokeswoman Mary Osako said the company didn't monitor the chat rooms at issue. And there's some more stuff down there. But the long and short of it is, as you saw, the advertisers saw that their content was being posted on diddler rooms. And when they found out about it, they took their money and left. And this, on top of the and this actually ties back into the gambling thing. This is a clear and present danger to the future of Twitch. Because when advertisers see shit like this, advertisers run. And very seldomly do they come back. Especially many of them who may not be convinced that they're getting ROI on advertising on Twitch in the first place. This will kill a website. We will continue the article in earnest. Anyway. Twitch, the Amazon subsidiary where millions of people congregate every day to watch skilled gamers. Oh yeah, by the way, let me repeat this. This story dropped at about 6 in the morning Pacific, 5, 6 in the morning Pacific. Because, again, Twitch put out the 70-30 split at 2:57 a.m. Pacific. Because they were trying to bury this. Twitch, the Amazon subsidiary where millions of people congregate every day to watch skilled gamers play franchises like Fortnite and Minecraft, is one of the most popular websites on the internet. But the factors that have contributed to its rapid growth, such as the ease with which anyone can open an account and begin broadcasting themselves live, have also enabled predators to target young users, according to an analysis from October 2020 through August 2022 by a researcher who studies live streaming websites. And now they have some graphs for us. So we have a underage streamer here. We have a predatory account here. So we have the one streamer found by predatory accounts. We continue going here. What happens next with this graphic? Because I got this thing zoomed in. Let me zoom it out a little bit here. Because I may have broken some of the formatting by doing this. I'm going to zoom it all the way back to 100% here. Just because I think I broke the formatting. Anyway. Child streamer, predatory account. Continue to scroll. It will adapt some more. You see more red blips. I assume this is like a representation of viewers. Ooh, that's a lot. Ooh. A predatory account following at least 272 children. During this time, at least 1,976 users systematically found and followed young people recording themselves live on the site, according to Twitch profile data, screenshots and videos discovered by the researcher and reviewed by Bloomberg. A child streamer followed by at least 23 predatory accounts. The unusual patterns of behavior seen in these accounts indicate that many exist primarily to catalog, watch, and manipulate children, including enticing them to perform everything from suggestive dances to explicit sexual acts, according to the findings. Again, this is the story Twitch tried to kill with the 70-30 split. For the most part, it worked. A predatory account following at least 98 children. These alleged predators targeted 279,016 children. According to the researcher, hundreds of apparent predator accounts had more than 1,000 kids on their following lists. A child streamer followed by at least 29 predatory accounts. In July 2022 alone, alleged predators found an average of 673 children every day, according to the researcher. Now, this may be a little bit of reading ahead future stuff here, but there's a very interesting thing that happened to the just chatting category. You used to be able to sort, like you know how it's sorted like recommended for you and then high-low. There used to be an option to sort low-high. Twitch got rid of that. And it's for the reason you think, they got rid of it. Because Twitch has no safeguards on who can go live. None whatsoever. I'm going to go ahead and zoom this back in now because we're back to the story here. All right. In an emailed statement, again, this is how you know Twitch knew the story was coming. They were consulted for comment. So that's why they knew the story was coming. And they had to get out in front of it. In an emailed statement, Twitch said the problem plagues many online platforms. You know, the whole, well, it affects everybody. Yeah, well, it doesn't affect everyone equally. Your no-nonsense, fire up an account and do anything approach. Yeah, you hits a little different over here. Hits a little different. I'm gonna follow him. We'll come on in. In an emailed statement, Twitch said the problem plagues many online platforms and that it has taken steps over the last 2 years to address it. Oh, I love this guy here. This guy's a real jackass. Preventing child harm is one of the most fundamental... it's going to say eventually who made this statement. I believe this is the chief product officer this guy's a very interesting cat because he's very much willing to run around and scream about dubs to get into fights with Zach Busty whenever he thinks Zach is barking up the wrong tree. So it's very interesting to see him here basically eating shit. Preventing child harm is one of our most fundamental responsibilities as a society. We do not allow children under 13 to use Twitch, and preventing our service from being used for harm is one of our biggest priorities, a Twitch spokesperson wrote. We know that online platforms can be used to cause harm to children, and we have made extensive investments over the last 2 years to better stay ahead of the bad actors and prevent any users who may be under 13 from accessing Twitch. It is important to point out at this moment that Twitch does not have any KYC protections. Doesn't have any KYC protections. What do I mean by that acronym? That acronym stands for Know Your Customer. It actually also kind of ties back into the gambling thing we were discussing earlier. KYC is a set of safeguards that industries will implement in order to what's the term I want to use here? Indemnify themselves against things like fraud, terrorism, such on and so forth. Basically, anything that verifies that a person is who they say they are. Social Security, like exactly, Mr. Star brings up banking. Banking uses KYC, Social Security numbers, driver's licenses, things like that. So that they know that you are who you say you are. Twitch has no such protections. Should they? Possibly. Potentially. But going on. In that time, Twitch has quadrupled the size of its law enforcement response team, working with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, known as the MCMEC, and the Tech Coalition, an industry-wide alliance combating online child sex abuse. After Twitch verifies instances of grooming, the company's law enforcement response team reports them to authorities and investigates the groomers' networks. The spokesperson said Twitch has numerous additional updates in development to detect and remove child streamers and predators. Twitch can't share much of the work in this area publicly because bad actors could use that knowledge to evade accountability, the spokesperson said. And that's how you know that's Twitch that made that statement, because that's their excuse for any time they don't want to be transparent about anything. That is the line they trot out every single time. Oh, well, we can't tell you that. I think the follow as well. Well, we can't tell you that. I mean, then the bad actors, the kind without SAG-AFTRA cards, they might circumvent it. So what's to stop them from circumventing it when you drop it? Are you just admitting that your shit has a limited time frame in which it's useful? Is that what's going on here? Anyway. Still, the reporting shows that Twitch's existing moderation tools have proved insufficient at preventing children from broadcasting and at stopping adults from finding and grooming them. The researcher assembled databases of Twitch accounts by manually identifying live streams of young children and determining which of their followers also track other children. Basically by extrapolating follower data, who follows who, so on and so forth. There are ways to get this information. One dataset represents predatory users, those believed to be accounts targeting children, who each possess a follower list composed of at least 70% kids or young teens. The researcher created a separate data set of apparent children targeted by these accounts and report instances of overt predation to the NCMEC and to Twitch. The person has studied internet harassment and extremism for years and requested anonymity due to concerns over potential career repercussions for being associated with such a disturbing topic. And that's another valid concern because, you know, having to work in content moderation is one of the fastest ways to fuck up your brain. Because you're looking at the worst things the internet has to offer. And I know some people who have that stuff. And they've seen some shit. And I remember sometimes if they're, you know, maybe they're not the friendliest people in the moment. I remember they've gone through some shit. And I remember that. Bloomberg verified that the 1,976 accounts had numerous children in their following list. Bloomberg also reviewed live video recordings and other documentation and analysis by the researcher. In the course of reporting, Bloomberg discovered additional live videos and predatory accounts not cataloged by the researcher, suggesting the problem could be even more widespread than the data portrays. Just like YouTube when they had the child-proof, yep, what was it, 5-6 years ago, YouTube had a huge fucking reckoning with this shit. And as with anything else, Twitch is always 5 years behind industry. Even one single instance of grooming is abhorrent to us, and if it's valid, the data you reference demonstrates that we are not offering the level of protection we strive for yet, which is deeply unsettling. Tom Verrilli, Twitch's chief product officer, wrote in an email. He's the guy who really likes to get into it on Twitter when he thinks he's holding a dub, but when he's holding an L, you can't find this guy. This work is vitally important to everyone at Twitch and will never stop. The reporting shows how alleged predators are able to target multiple children simultaneously using common grooming tactics. In late July, one Twitch voyeur entered the livestream of 4 different young users and asked them to perform acts including spicy dares, slang for requests that may be indecent or vulgar. One stream attracted 290 viewers. In that case, Twitch shut down the broadcast after 30 minutes, but others go unmoderated. How long till TikTok catches up? TikTok and Patreon have similar issues from what I understand. Safeguarding children online is an industry-wide challenge. Meta Platforms Inc., which runs the largest social networks, perennially tops the list of reports of apparent incidents of child exploitation online, according to the NCMEC. A whistleblower last year accused the Facebook and Instagram parent of failing to devote adequate resources to removing child sexual abuse material. The U.S. government is reportedly looking at how ByteDance Limited, TikTok, handles the problem. And Alphabet Inc.'s YouTube algorithm has recommended videos of children to predators who help disseminate them further. Spokespeople for Meta and TikTok have said they have no tolerance for such abuse. YouTube spokesperson Ivy Choi said the company has devoted significant resources to child safety. YouTube said it has also changed its system since past reports of predatory networks there, which, as Chad is pointing out, was a thing that was several years ago. Kids' vulnerability to abuse is a particular concern in the world of online games, where Twitch is a cornerstone. Some 3/4 of U.S. children play video games, and Twitch says the majority of its users are between 16 and 34. See, I don't know. See, Devin Nash actually says the majority of viewers are 13 to 23. So, just because Twitch says a thing, as we've learned, just because Twitch says a thing doesn't make it so. Doesn't necessarily make it so. Especially when you've seen the kind of ass-kissing and massaging at a truth you've seen in previous statements out of them recently. There are a few barriers to prevent kids from live streaming on Twitch, particularly on mobile. Whereas a new Twitch user can begin streaming live immediately. Doing so on YouTube's mobile app requires the person to have at least 50 subscribers and wait at least 24 hours. TikTok, I feel like I'm doing a Tucker Carlson impression now. Like the inflections are starting to come out. All I gotta do is just stare into the camera like this. Except, I won't have my head completely buried up my ass, just, 70% of the way. TikTok requires creators to be over 16 and have at least 1,000 followers. Facebook, which stipulates that people must be 13 to open an account, has no other age or follower requirement for live streaming on mobile, according to the company. But unlike Twitch, new users must connect a phone number or email address and validate their accounts. Twitch does not have that requirement to go live. Does not have that requirement. Critics say efforts by social media companies to enforce their age restrictions are inadequate. The platforms aren't doing a great job keeping young kids off their sites, and it creates the opportunity for child predators to groom in such an expedient way, said Ben Halpert, founder and president of Savvy Cyber Kids, an organization promoting children's safety online. Live predation has been a problem on Twitch for years, but there are signs the pandemic made it worse. While reports of apparent child sexual abuse online skyrocketed 73% from 2019 to 2021, according to the MCMEC, they increased 1,125% on Twitch. A Twitch spokesperson attributes the influx of NCMEC reports to the company's improved detection methods as the online platform grew. You're really going with the whole... Well, the numbers are going up because we're testing better. You're really going with that line? this isn't the dub you think it is. Okay. I mean, okay, yeah, your reporting got better, I guess, but that's not the story. That's not the story. Kansas City has the ball, but that's not the story. Tom Brady took a tremendous hit as he released that ball. Like that. Children and teens stuck at home were on their phones and computers for nearly twice as many hours as they were pre-pandemic. On Twitch, and I can verify this because I like to look at Twitch statistics, the average number of live channels broadcasting concurrently more than doubled between late 2019 and the start of 2022 to 105,000. Average viewership for those channels increased to 2.9 million from 1.2 million over that period. COVID has had an unprecedented impact, said Ian Drenham, executive director of child safety firm We Protect Global Alliance. There are more potential victims online, more offenders online, and we're seeing a dramatic increase in reports worldwide. Because, and this is all publicly available information cited from Twitch Tracker, this is where Twitch's viewership was, around the 2 to 3 million range. Then you can see the lockdown, yeah, it surged and it kind of starts dribbling off a little bit, kind of like the growth spurt is finished. But the point being that the site benefited immensely from the pandemic. Because, people suddenly needed access to free entertainment. And Twitch is free entertainment. Well, free with an asterisk, the ads and the subs and what stuff. You wonder if DJ Wheat saw this boiling up before he left. I mean, you're not wrong. He was one of the last good ones. Fucking disgusting how that guy got treated on his way out. They kept having to trot him out and make him the apologist anytime the company fucked up Royal. And I mean, that guy has not been shy about voicing his opinions ever since he left the platform service. He has not been shy about voicing his concerns. Even though the early effects of the pandemic are fading, kids are still flocking to Twitch. The average number of children and young teens broadcasting monthly doubled between July 2021 and 2022, the researchers' data shows. Yeah, at Twitch, don't use COVID. Exactly. Don't use COVID as an excuse. Because there's so many things here, like, and we mentioned this during the whole Twitch Do Better thing last year, late last summer, is Twitch seemingly, especially probably due to, the profit motive, which murders everything, does not really have the functionality to be proactive on anything. They can only ever be reactive. So, something that goes on like this, you see it and you go, holy shit, why don't they do something about this? It's because they literally don't have the people or the capability to do stuff about this. They haven't been able to scale their growth, and they can, and especially since now they're under the gun to make more money, that's not happening. So, child predation has been a public problem for Twitch since at least 2020, when a Wired investigation revealed dozens of children were live streaming in a category known as just chatting. Predators could sort broadcasts on the site's directories by recently started to reveal accounts with low numbers of followers. In response, the company removed the sorting feature for just chatting in the Roblox channel. It's still available on Twitch's thousands of other categories, including ones where children regularly live stream. Although the platform showcases its most popular users on its front page, with little effort, a viewer can find the broadcasts of kids mixed in with those of other kids and adults and join those live streams. Alleged predators that have discovered and followed children can receive notifications when they're online. Some kids can receive hundreds of live viewers within a few minutes of going live, far more than what's expected for an account that isn't a featured streamer. Yeah. I don't know that I have much to say to that, to be honest. It's, yeah. Again, let me repeat the point here. This story, Twitch attempted to kill with this story. Again, let me remind you, this story dropped 2:57 a.m. Pacific. which for the most part has absorbed most of the streamer discourse today. The story was specifically brought out to kill this story, which we're still working through here. But yes, as Rio points out, there's networks outside of the site tracking these accounts. Someone's keeping a database somewhere. In mid-August, 650 live viewers watched a girl who said she was 11 and alone in her bedroom. She displayed a sign with her Twitch username and the number 12, the age she would turn in a few weeks. Viewers in chat asked her to... You know, I'm actually not going to read that. I don't want those words coming out of my mouth. Although the platform showcases its most popular users on its front page, with little effort, a viewer can... Okay, that's the comment from earlier there. So then there's an approximation of what, looking for Twitch streams looks like. The live streams of apparent children and preteens are easy to identify in channel thumbnails. In one search, they made up 5 of the first 15 results because, every so often Twitch takes a snapshot of what's on the show, and when you look in the category, that's what they see. So right now, anyone looking this up is seeing this whole screen, or if you're here on a regular fucking night, maybe you're seeing giant titties and me playing Resident Evil. For anyone who might be new here, by the way, I'm normally a drag queen. Giant tits, full exquisite outfit. We're doing an out of character bit this evening for anyone who's new here. 99 times out of 100 you come here, I'm gonna look like this.
Jackie's father, and we honor his sacrifice by doing what he would do.
Steal the show at the Royal Rumble and make everyone pissed off?
Tirelessly defend Earthrealm.
No, that wasn't it. Anyway, you get the idea. It's challenging to determine with certainty how old someone is by watching a video or reviewing an account. The researcher classified a set of accounts as likely belonging to children based on how they describe themselves in addition to their physical appearance. For example, someone who says their favorite game is Roblox or poses with a school backpack is not likely to be an adult, which is a reasonable assumption to make. Streamers sometimes give their ages explicitly, as happened in April when 2 girls appeared sitting on a couch eating ice cream. A viewer asked how old they were, and they replied that they were la 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 and la la la. I'm not saying the numbers because I don't want to get clipped out of context. In another instance, a child said she's and lives in Florida. Sometimes seeing comment like with too much info. Sometimes there can be undercovers, but these weren't undercovers. These were not undercovers. I know that was the joke that used to be on the internet, where the joke used to be the internet, and this is back in the aughts and late 90s. The internet, where the men are men, the women are men, and the children are FBI agents. That's not a transphobic joke, that's just people masquerading online with identities at the time. But that was the joke, that the children were FBI agents. Children on Twitch often mimic their favorite gaming streamers, responding to comments and prompts by their viewers in order to keep their audience engaged. This makes young streamers susceptible to predation because viewers can communicate through text anonymously with broadcasters who are on live video. In September, a girl who said she was streamed on Twitch alone in her room using a smartphone. This is the thing that scares the shit out of me. Like, I graduated high school before regular flip phones were becoming ubiquitous, and I would not want to be a parent these days. I would absolutely not want to be a parent these days. You couldn't pay me to do it. We've gone too far technologically. This is... And again, it speaks to parents having no idea what their kids are doing. Especially when you give them access to this kind of technology and the parents don't know how to work it. This stuff happens a lot. Hey, Justice Silverman. You like the Walter Cronkite look? Yes. Good night. And good luck. The biggest worry in your high school years was getting your Game Boy Advance confiscated. Yeah, me too. Game Boy Advance. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's crazy how there's no password parental code thing for Twitch. Like, yeah, there's so many safeguards they could put in them that they don't want to. I remember, and this is a true story, SOCOM 3 the PlayStation 2 game, it wasn't as good as SOCOM 2. They kind of went for too much of a Battlefield thing. The matches were too big, and they got vehicles involved. It wasn't as good. But they did a very interesting thing to attempt to enforce the ESRB rating on it, which was either T or M, I can't recall which. And it's one of those things, too, where, online interactions are not rated by the ESRB. On SOCOM 3, now this is back when, online gaming on PlayStation was free, and it was actually still in its infancy. In order to ensure that people playing the game were over the age of 18 or at least had parental consent, you had to provide a credit card number in order to participate in the game. You had to provide a credit card number. So I'd ask my dad, could you put your credit card number in here so I could play the video game? And he did. But the point being that they had to know that I was doing it because I asked for it. Minor administrative note. You can undo that, but yeah, let the comments sit in the airlock. That's not a troll. But anyway, yeah, that was how they did it back then, is you had to provide a credit card number. And back then, I don't know if there were means to spoof credit card numbers or make fake ones, but that was the way they did it back then. It was a form of KYC. Know your customer. You had to do that. Anyway. Oh God, I just saw the rest of this paragraph. A viewer entered her chat room with the first minute of her broadcast and asked if she's a girl. Comment you also get when you're streaming in drag, but anyway. Then the person said in Spanish, not reading that. 3 minutes later, the viewer said, not reading that. Throughout the live stream, the viewer repeatedly threatened to leave if she did not perform to meet his demands. And some of you who may be streamers yourselves and you're just starting out, and sometimes your brain is like, well, I got to keep this viewer here. They're my linchpin to getting other people. Sometimes your brain makes you do things maybe you wouldn't do normally. Now imagine you're an impressionable, pissant little kid. Imagine that. It's very susceptible to suggestion. It's possible some of the accounts believed to be adult predators are actually kids, but the behavior exhibited by many members of this group follows typical grooming techniques. Some use the same tactics on multiple streams, even seconds later. They can start out by asking innocuous questions about a child's favorite color, and then work their way to demands for live sexual acts. Some predatory viewers send messages in Twitch's text chat that appear to look like donations to the children. Those lovely, lovely fake ones that look like you just got a whole bunch of bits. Or, do what you gotta do to even individual. Like I said, if there's anyone who needs to duck out, I'm not gonna take it personally. We'll be back with Resident Evil tomorrow night, don't you worry. Anyone who needs to duck out for your mental well-being, do it. I'm not accusing anyone anything. This is the deepest thing I've ever covered in my life. Not just on this channel, not just on the Twitter account, just in life. This is as deep and as dark as it's ever gotten. And as a reminder, Twitch tried to bury this story. And for the most part, it actually succeeded. All anyone's talking about is the subsplit thing. Some predatory viewers send messages in Twitch's text chat that appear to look like donations to the children, a popular monetization feature on the platform, in an effort to coerce them into sexual acts. As Twitch saves streams for several days, they've actually reduced it from 14 to 7. One of their nickel and diming cost-saving measures that inadvertently also reduces the liability for this sort of thing. Videos with inappropriate material can sometimes attract thousands of views before they are automatically removed. In April, one young boy streamed himself shirtless in his room. In the accompanying chat, when a viewer asked him to nope, another one asked him to show off your skills, which prompted him to flex. A video of the live stream was viewed over 230 times, an outsized number for someone with 18 followers. The other thing, too, is just because Twitch removed it doesn't mean the content is gone. you can download that stuff off the site, right? There's utilities, there's tools. You can use that. My video editors use them to get my VODs. So of course they could be used for that too. Oh, you're welcome, Hebe. You do what you gotta do over there. Like I says, if anyone wants to dip out, I think we're getting towards the end of it anyway. But like I said, anyone who needs to dip out, because the scroll bar is like 85% of the way down. But in any event, like I said, anyone who's gonna duck out, I ain't gonna take it personally. Blah blah blah. The researchers' data from Twitch text chats contains over 5,700 references to other social media platforms such as Discord, Snapchat, and TikTok, including indicating predators may be seeking to move conversations to more private venues. One thing we see offenders try to do is connect with children on one platform and then move somewhere they can have a private communication or private video stream, said Lindy Olson, former executive director for the MCMEC's Exploited Children Division. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, clips are made all the time. Yeah, oh, yeah. Identifying predatory behavior, especially in real time, would be a daunting task for any technology company. Twitch broadcasts over... How far are we in this? Okay, yeah, we're in like the last section. It would be a daunting task for any technology company. Twitch broadcasts over 2.5 million hours of live content every day in 35 languages, relying on a combination of user reports and live moderation to shut down inappropriate streams. Like Meta's Facebook Live, where the shooting in Christchurch, New Zealand was broadcast, Twitch has also inadvertently hosted live videos of extremists and terrorists on their way to committing heinous acts. In May, a gunman used Twitch to broadcast his attack in a Buffalo, New York supermarket. The video attracted 22 viewers within 25 minutes before the company ended the stream. Twitch said it removed the live stream less than 2 minutes after the violence started. And for the most part, that report is accurate. Algorithms can scan websites and apps for abusive material by comparing images and videos to content that's already been identified as inappropriate. Live streams showing abuse are brand new, so it's hard for companies to quickly identify them as inappropriate and remove them, said Rebecca Steinbach, senior producer at NCMEC. Because that's the other thing, too, and it's the only spot here I'm going to give Twitch a little bit of leeway. Like, it'd be one thing if you were going on Facebook and being like, well, we gotta use an algorithm that senses guns going off. What happens in 90% of the games on this platform?
Headshot.
Which means, as this article is eventually going to comment on, Twitch is over-reliant on crowdsourced reports and doesn't have enough manual people to do the job. It's all dependent on the algorithm and community things. Could you get a link? Sure, I'll repost it here. There you go. Twitch successfully deters other forms of child sexual abuse material, said Varela, the product chief, including problematic recorded videos that are shared or rebroadcast. The majority of established solutions in this space are ineffective in combating the type of grooming we see people attempt on Twitch, as they either do not work well in a live context or are not capable of catching the types of grooming behavior that are intended to escape detection, he said. Over the last year, Twitch said it terminated almost 3 times the number of accounts belonging to underage streamers as it did the year before. Twitch relies on user reports to root out abuse, in addition to automated solutions that can identify child streamers and predatory behavior, Verrilli said. Critics say Twitch is over-dependent on crowdsourced reports. The researcher reported 1,200 accounts apparently belonging to children to Twitch. In March, the company updated its reporting form to make it easier for users to flag child streamers. Shortly after that, about 41% of accounts reported by the researcher were removed. Even in the many instances where Twitch has eliminated inappropriate content or suspended clearly underage users, it's easy enough to create a new account. When one user dared a child to during a live stream in late May, the child responded that she wouldn't do so because she had already had one of her 3 accounts suspended. The viewer, who followed primarily young girls on Twitch, replied in the chat, "You can always make a new account easy." Later in the broadcast, yeah.
Here at Twitch, we believe in manipulating our creators into thinking that Twitch is the only place where you can be successful. We do this by giving everyone a false sense of hope with an easy path to affiliation so you can monetize quickly. This is, of course, to hook you in, so that way you want to spend the next 4 years of your life grinding for Twitch Partner, which is essentially just a check mark and provides no extra benefits from Twitch Affiliate. But remember, statistically speaking, the only way to make this possible is by actually growing on another platform and then using that platform to try to drive viewers over here for us. I mean for you. And to add to this fantastic package, once you sign the Twitch Affiliate, you're now committed to this platform and this platform alone. And we essentially own your content and your soul. From there, we like to make sure you feel super comfortable in your ability to be a creator on this platform by giving you no opportunity to be a creator on this platform besides being live. Basically, here on Twitch, when you're not live, your channel's dead. But wait, there's more. Over the last 3 years, Twitch has proven time and time again that this is a community-driven platform, and we do this by not giving a fuck about the community. Because here at Twitch, we like playing hard to get. Feel like you're getting screwed here? That's okay, because you are, but we're a community, and that's all that matters. Plus, some of our viewers take advantage of this opportunity and get screwed while they're live.
I figured I would give you all a moment of levity there. So that was the article. That was the Bloomberg article that Twitch attempted to kill. Well, I shouldn't say kill. They tried to bury it with that one. Zen, thank you for follow. Welcome on in. They attempted to bury it by dropping this at 2:57 in the morning. And like I said, for the most part, it worked. The discourse has been about the money. Which makes sense, because for a lot of people, their bag is being come for. Or, it's, it's shitting on Twitch. But the other thing, too, is between, the nature of the topic being an incredibly troubling one, and it also not necessarily being the one that, people want to talk about. For the most part, this worked. For the most part, it worked. Because this is, I don't know. Look, the thing is, I normally have Twitter up while I'm live, so maybe the discourse changed, but it's on a different monitor. Like, this is the monitor I would normally have Twitter on up while I'm live, so maybe if something changed during this presentation, I don't know. But let's... Oh, hang on. Stupid question. What does it take to start streaming on Twitch? Right now, it doesn't take anything. You make the account, download a client, boom, you can go live. There's no safeguards. Now, I believe, and I could be corrected on this, I believe Mixer, back when it existed, had some kind of checksum in place, or at least some kind of sober second thought. I think maybe you had to wait a day to get the stream key or something like that. They had something, and Mixer is gone now, but they could implement some sort of KYC. They could. But again, the goal has always been on this platform. I'm sorry, service. I should be keeping a swear jar for that. They could be doing something. They don't want to do it. They want to keep the barrier for entry as low as possible. As low as possible. They want people to get in on the website quickly and be able to consume content. And that is why the stuff outlined in this article is going to continue to be a problem. Because either due to incompetence, lack of resources, they don't want it, this is not something they want to, they are making an effort, but clearly it is not the best effort. And of course, this is all ties into capitalism and the profit motive, because doing the right thing is not always economically viable. In fact, very rarely is doing the right thing economically viable. Sure, and it was, someone mentioned it in chat. It was, I could scroll up, maybe it was Pixie, I'm not sure. Someone pointed out that the cost that would be associated with having to have people who would manually watch this thing would be astronomical, and that Twitch itself may not have the resources to do that. And as we've outlined through other discussions we've had here this evening, no, Twitch absolutely does not have the resources to do this sort of thing. That's not to excuse them for it. That's not to excuse them for that at all. But it does speak to why on earth, they won't do it. Because again, they tried to kill an even bigger fire by starting a fire themselves. This fire being the we're going to start skimming off the 70-30 people after the first 100K. And all the other things, all the other moves they've been making as of late to, get us to gravitate towards Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and YouTube. They all very much want us to move over there because, and this is my opinion, we're watching the boat sink in slow motion here. We're watching the boat sink in slow motion. Again, Twitch has been added to Amazon's entertainment portfolio. They are very much under the gun to try and create a profit for Amazon. That's why every single move they've made this year has been in the service of trying to wring more money out of this website. It's why they've engaged in experiments with cheering, switching it to flat dollar amounts to try and make it seem less confusing. It's why the cheer hype trains are making a return, because they're trying to find any way that they can increase revenue on this website. Because apparently, subs are just not cutting it. Apparently, we're not collectively spending enough money on subs, which is part of why that 70-30 split is going away in certain circumstances. But it's also why they have such a hard-on for their ad program that allegedly increases your ad rate 55%, which... Sure. Whatever you say, boss. All right, cool. Yeah, cool. You do know that multiplying 0 by 2 still makes you 0, right? Like, we accept that that's still a concept, right? Okay, just wanted to make sure that was still the case. And this is where also the gambling situation that we were bringing up earlier continues to tie back into this. Because, again, the gambling that has been going on this platform, which will still be going on after October 28th, though not in the same manner that it was to this point, is another thing that is going to be scaring potential advertisers away. Because if there's one thing advertisers really hate, it's having their ads sitting on top of what they call degenerate content. For instance, my show. I can be honest, my show's pretty fucking degenerate. I mean, have you seen the titties I wear when I'm in drag? But they also don't like their ads showing up on gambling. They hate it. They loathe it. They don't want their ads associated anywhere near gambling. And Twitch's refusal to make any meaningful, serious changes to drift away from that is not going to do this website any favors in the ad department. Which, again, let me remind you, the ad money is what's keeping this website afloat. It's not the sub money. It's definitely not the sub money keeping this website afloat. Definitely not. So. And again, this whole shitty week started because a whole bunch of the Epitea were all having a proxy war with each other over gambling. And then it ended with, oh, we need to kill this child predator story. So, yeah. That has basically been the last 96 hours on this platform, give or take a couple of details. Some details may have been left, perhaps some details have been omitted, but I like to think, based off of what I have seen and heard, that I've given you the best approximation of what I know that has gone on here. Let's see. Now I'm like, do you do a big speech to end that off? Was that the speech? Is this the part where I'm supposed to put the cigarette up to the screen and say good night and good luck, that sort of thing? As is often the case, the only ones with any real sway are the advertisers. As I pointed out earlier, again, we had that Yahoo chat story from 2005, which I can verify because I was on Yahoo chat in 2005, where Yahoo was very reluctant to do anything to stem the child pornography and stuff going on that platform until PepsiCo, State Farm, and Georgia Pacific Corp found out and pulled their ads. Suddenly, they wanted to do things. And there's another thing I still even want to bring up. Another thing I haven't even done here yet. So, again, Twitch, as you've heard throughout this evening, and perhaps just in your time on streamer Twitter or on this platform in general, Twitch is making very odd moves in terms of trying to gravitate from being a platform into being a service. And a lot of it feels like moves intentionally being made to stem the bleeding and buy time. There's an example I want to bring up here. Pro wrestling fans will know where this is going here. All I need to say is 1997 and Bret Hart. And you know where this is going, the Montreal Screwjob. But to me, one of the more interesting facets of the Montreal Screwjob was part of what led up to the Montreal Screwjob. At this point, WWF is losing big time to WCW in ratings, and Vince McMahon is having trouble keeping the company afloat. And one of the big holes in his pocket is Bret Hart. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. My favorite wrestler. And apparently they had no idea how to use him because they wrote him into a corner and he was making too much money. So what they were attempting to do is they were making long-term plans to shift the company into a more aggressive, you might even call it degenerate direction. And Bret Hart was not going to be part of those plans. So Vince was repeatedly going to Vince was repeatedly going to Bret Hart and saying, "Hey, do you want to maybe see if Ted will still take you on? Could you see if Ted Turner wants your contract? Because this is the other thing too. There's a point that comes in here. Where was it? I don't know if it's mentioned this paragraph in an earlier one, but at some point, Vince starts withholding Bret Hart's paycheck, saying that, look, I gotta withhold your pay or the company's going under. So they kept making overtures, say, hey, go make a deal with WCW, which he eventually did. He signed that big deal with WCW that brought about the events of the Montreal Screwjob, which is a fascinating subject with lots of drama and intrigue that I don't have the time to fully cover this evening. But suffice to say, you can see a little bit of allegory going on right now between what happened here and the preamble to the Screwjob, because Twitch is sitting here and is going, hey, do you wanna go learn how to do things on YouTube? You wanna go stream on TikTok? Not that there's anything wrong. No, of course there's nothing wrong. We're just interested in helping you diversify your audience and your income. We're just really interested in that right now for some reason. Now, in the Montreal Screwjob, one of the things that came about is, Vince did ultimately get Bret Hart's contract off the books. But a stroke of genius occurred on that evening, whereby Bret Hart's actions inadvertently created the Mr. McMahon character. Because Vince went down and said, ring the bell. And this overt act of clear manipulation, whatever you want to call it, and by Bret, very real, not staged, being angry about it, created the Mr. McMahon character, which was part of what was able to play into WWF's resurgence during the Attitude Era, because the disgruntled Stone Cold Steve Austin could then go after the Mr. McMahon character in the white collar versus blue collar kerfuffle, which absolutely resonated with American viewers. Twitch, however, is not going to have a similar stroke of luck coming out of this, because the Mr. McMahon thing, that's a stroke of genius. That's a 1 in a million shot. There's no such unless Emmett Shear is personally willing to appear on everyone's show twice a day, that's not going to be a thing. Unless he's willing to come over here and crack me in the head with a steel chair, it's not happening. And I have two other examples I want to mention. I don't really have a graphic for it, so I'm just going to leave this here because Twitch. We have seen in our lifetimes two examples of companies that were at the apex of what they were known for, and then they weren't. You have witnessed, depending on how old you are, in your lifetime at least two major comeuppances of people who had the world and then lost it. The millennials amongst you will remember BlackBerry. Remember BlackBerry? Remember those little phones with the key? Do I even have one down? God damn it, I usually have a BlackBerry in here. You remember BlackBerry? They made the little phones with the keypads. They called them crackberries. Office workers loved them. Everyone loved them because they could do their emails and this shit using the little keypad thing. In fact, I recall as I was graduating college in 2007, we attended it was like a job fair. It wasn't even really like a job fair, but we went to another campus where RIM, Research in Motion, that's what the company was called at the time, Research in Motion, or RIM. They were offering us jobs in customer support. And basically the only perk they could offer us was, well, we'll give you a BlackBerry. And at this point, the iPhone was already unveiled. So we declined to get a RIM job. Our professor was very confused as to why we found that comical, but we didn't want to tell her because we didn't think she needed to know about that. But suffice to say, we declined her opportunity to get RIM jobs. And again, BlackBerry is effectively gone. It's just the best of my knowledge, BlackBerry now is just a licensed name that goes on phones not manufactured by BlackBerry. They had the world, they had the keypad, and then here comes Apple. And that was all she wrote. BlackBerry never had an answer. And then here comes Samsung and everyone else and Android. And BlackBerry died a slow, painful death. Okay, coincidentally enough, if I had actually accepted that RIM job, I would have been out of that job not too long after, only a couple of years. The place that I would have gotten a job at, gone. I would have no longer had my RIM job. BlackBerry had the world, and then someone came along and did it better, and they didn't have an answer. You can see the allegory here. That's one way this could play out. Someone could come along and do Twitch better than Twitch does. It's possible. Again, and it's not for lack of competition, because the competition is out there. You've got your fringe little ones, but then you've got your heavy hitters. Facebook, or prevailing, YouTube. YouTube figures out how to do this streaming shit. If YouTube figures out how to do this streaming shit, Twitch, your days are numbered. But that's not the only example I have for you here. Hey, just some welcome on. And yes, we're doing a newsy evening, so I decided to give the tits the night off here. The other example that you've had in your conscious lifetime, and it's actually playing out right now. So they don't even have to be a millennial. You could be an elder Zoomer and you'll know about this one. Or you could be a Gen Xer or an actual boomer. Netflix. Remember when Netflix had the world? They were the only product in town. They were the only game in town. They had the DVDs, but then they got that Wii app, and then it was on everything else, and oh my god, now you can stream them through the website? Whoa! I can watch old episodes of Law & Order and SNL and movies? Except in Canada, it stunk a bit because the selection was different. But you get the point. Netflix had the world. And it's not necessarily that they forgot what to do with it, but the rest of the world caught up with them. Netflix killed Blockbuster, but everyone else came along and is trying to kill Netflix. Pope Corker the Ninth points out, in your lifetime, Netflix replaced Blockbuster, the previous only game in town, only to do itself in. Because Netflix is currently being undone by everyone else catching up to them. How many streaming services do we have now that are paid? You have Prime, Peacock, Hulu, and all the Disney ones related to that. You've got Paramount Plus, AMC whatever, HBO whatever it is. What else is there? Paid ones, I mean. Well, again, whether or not I come up with any more is irrelevant. There's at least 6 other games in town. At least 6. And that's before you get into the free ones. Your Freevee, your Plutos, your Tubies. Anything on YouTube that's free with ads. There is at least 10, 15, 20 other games in town for online streaming. And a lot of these companies took their shit and left Netflix at the altar. Remember when I said specifically I used to be able to watch Law & Order and Saturday Night Live on Netflix? Can't do that anymore. They took their ball and went home. They made Peacock. Now if you want to watch that well, yeah, that's all NBC. Yeah, you want to watch that shit now, you're going to have to get Peacock. So Netflix lived entirely based on content that was not theirs. And when everyone else figured out that they could make that content themselves on their own platforms, Netflix had to make up their own stuff. And, you know, they had some programs. The first little crack in the armor came when Kevin Spacey got canceled. Because all of a sudden, their flagship program suddenly had to frantically rewrite him out of the freaking show and somehow wrap the whole thing up. And it's all kind of been downhill from there. I don't even have Netflix anymore. We weren't really watching it. Well, okay, I wasn't watching it, and I was convinced Rio wasn't watching it, but apparently she was watching it. And then, you know, they decided that their new cutting-edge strategy would be give millions of dollars to Dave Chappelle to be transphobic. So at that point, I was like, you know what? I've already canceled. I'm not coming back. You know what? Go fuck yourself. You already don't have my money, and now you can't have it back. Now, does this mean Netflix dies? Not necessarily. They're still there. They're still putting out content, but it's not the same content. The rest of the world caught up with them and took their ball away. So what Netflix used to be synonymous with, watching other people's shit, is gone. Because now you're only watching their shit. And you know, the joke used to be that Fox cancels all their shows before they get to do anything. There's a whole Family Guy bit about that actually before Family Guy got renewed, where Peter Griffin sits there and reads off every single other show that Fox has canceled in the last 20 years. Except now Netflix is that joke. Everything on Netflix is getting killed based off of some metric I can't fully comprehend. Because they killed the Cowboy Bebop thing. They killed that Resident Evil TV show. They're murdering everything. They're the new Fox. Apparently the life force of Fox was not absorbed by the Disney Corporation and it went into Netflix instead. Apparently that's where it went. So again, BlackBerry, Netflix. Two companies that had it all, and then the world caught up with them. And you can see the similarities between us and Twitch here, where it's not just that Twitch seemingly is letting off the gas as a website, taking their foot off the accelerator. They feel like they're starting to put it on the brake. And all I know is TwitchCon's gonna be really fucking weird in 2 weeks. Really fucking weird. I, however, will not be there. Again, my original excuse, and it's still a valid excuse, is that my airline fucked up all my flights and I just went, and this was before they undid they put the mask mandate in. We just went, fuck it, and we have some local plans instead. But now my excuse is retroactively, this website is run by stupid people and I'm concerned that it's airborne and can transmit through masks. Zen, you are correct about that. Welcome on in. Twitch constantly, like, I hope it's a good event. I hope everyone has fun. I hope it goes off without a hitch. But the vibe in the air is not good. very, very, very bad vibes. Oh yeah, I must have an old command in there I haven't taken out of. Because they do actually have the COVID protocol in place now, but like I said, it's mostly because of the ongoing flight industry shortcomings, which again, as I said, my flights got screwed up 60 days out, and I'm like, I could fix this, but it could still get screwed up in about 7 different ways. No, maybe next year's the year. Maybe next year's the year. Now that you can chat, you want to say you appreciate covering this topics, love your humor? Why, thank you. We did put in the follow. We do not normally have the follower 10 mode in, but I made the decision to implement that before the show ever went live, just because this is not my usual stuff to do. And we wanted to make sure that this was treated seriously, that our community had the ability to express themselves within reason. And I like to think y'all nailed it. You did it. You've done famously. You've done a fantastic job. I mean, you may sit here and go, hey, you did this Walter Cronkite shit pretty good. You did good too. You did a very good job. Well, I go to TwitchCon when PiBcon is all year. I know. Well, see, it's funny you mentioned that because PiBcon, we had that casino night. Well, we're actually doing casino night, not this Saturday, but the Saturday after. So an element of PiBcon will live on. We're doing casino night. I'll be wearing a bunny girl outfit. For anyone who may be new here, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not my usual thing here on the Twitch. The little magnet here isn't here for no reason whatsoever. And the avatar, you may notice, has stonking great breasts in it. So you may be going, if I come here on an odd evening, yes, you have. I am colloquially known as Queen Pib, Patricia Inga Bogart. You may also call me Trish. Though admittedly the tits aren't on and I'm very male presenting this evening, so you can just call me Pib. That fucking works. I am a retro variety drag queen streamer, the queen of the ways of the old, and your time on this channel is well wasted. Let me see if I can find something that's a little bit more representative of what this show looks like on a regular basis. Let's see here. Give me the super edits. Give me the Saul Kamen for Balam Garden victims.
What are you talking about?
You don't remember? No. Do we not illustrate the effects that the Guardian Force usage has on our memory loss? Have you or a loved one junctioned a Guardian Force and experienced memory loss? You have rights and you may be entitled to compensation. I'm Saul Kamen and I'll fight for your rights. Were you bamboozled by Balam Garden faculty into using a Guardian Force without knowing the side effects? It's expected that you'll be using quite the numbers of girlfriends along the ways. Be sure to ignore all the girlfriend's criticisms you hear from others guardians or military forces. Were you pressured into using GF and experienced any of the following symptoms? Diarrhea, running nose, eczema, shortness of breath, anal leakage, uncontrolled rage, low blood pressure, high blood pressure, instant death, neck spasms, eyeball spasms, loss of hair, shortness of breath. Did I mention the shortness of breath already?
I used Guardian Force on Balam Garden orders and used to be the best looking guy at the party. Now look at me.
Act now. Operators are standing by. Get the compensation you deserve. I'm Saul Kamen and I'll fight for your rights. Rio was asking about the anal leakage bit. That is in the spiel because of the Robin Williams Live from Broadway stand-up from like 2002. I think he was discussing like medications like, fuck it all. For when you just don't give a fuck it all. And I think it was going through like some of the possible side effects you get from medication. It's something to the effect of, may cause anal leakage. And he's like one person says to the other, and the other person's like, do you want to get out of the pool now, Bob? You know, that sort of thing. That's what that one was there for. Here, let me give you another shot at the titties here. All right, Kotal Khan, dental plan. Whatever. Dental plan. Fujin, you won't. Dental plan. All right, dental plan. Everyone thinks they get a say. Dental plan. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this tomorrow and clip every time I said dental plan. I'm gonna have to do that. Dental plan. Sindel needs braces. Dental plan. Kotal Khan needs braces. Dental plan. Sub-Zero needs braces. Drowned himself in a lake or something. Dental plan. I can just keep smacking you with my ribcage plan. Can we do dental plan? Dental plan. Johnny needs braces. Dental plan. Kung Lao needs braces. Because I will. Dental plan. Shao Kahn needs braces.
It has begun.
Yeah. Anyway, back to whatever we were doing here. My production team is asking if we're done with the predation story. Well, they asked that half hour ago. Yeah, we're done with that. So yeah. Again, this was 96 hours on Twitch. How we went from. Yeah, I guess I could switch back to the standard Chiron. Let's do that. Maybe this one? Yeah, we'll do that one. We'll leave that one up there. So, in any event, this whole thing started because a bunch of people, a bunch of the upper crusters all got into a pissing match with each other, and they decided to use gambling as the metric. As the battlefield, motivated by other self-serving interests, being driven by people with no ethics, which led to Twitch not quite banning gambling and pissing off everyone associated with Twitch Do Better because they weren't listened to in a timely manner. Then Twitch dumping this, which pissed off the elite class because now suddenly they can't make as much money, which won't hurt someone working in Indiana or Georgia as much as it'll hurt someone in California. And then, of course, dropping that at 2:57 in the morning to kill that other story. You know, the Bloomberg one, the nasty one, the one that's gonna sit with you for a while. So, Twitch? It's a silly website. I mean, my goal whenever I go live is to get more out of this website than it gets out of me. Here's another thing. I don't know how many of you pay attention to my channel branding, but if you look at anything I have current these days, the TikTok account, I'd have to double check the Instagram account. Let me actually look there before I finish this sentence. Let me look at the Instagram account here. Did I change that wording there? Oh, give me 2 seconds here. Hang on, I have to change something before I finish this sentence. I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to my Instagram account. I just post pictures. I don't even have time to look at it. I don't even have time to look at everyone else's stuff on Instagram. There, now I can legally finish the sentence. I've actually removed the phrase Twitch partner from pretty much all of my branding everywhere. I don't identify it. I mean, I am one, but I've decided that that's a title I don't need. I don't use it. It doesn't do me any good anyway. It's not getting me anything. Like I said, I'm not on a Rolodex of people who get used for stuff. I'm never gonna sniff the front page. It's not doing me anything. It's a nice little trinket down there next to my name, and that's all it's ever gonna be. That's all it's ever gonna be. And I'm okay with that. But I've decided I don't want that to be part of my identity, so I've actually removed it from things. I'm just a broadcaster. I put the broad in broadcaster after all, so I identify as that. I don't know. And that was the other thing too. When I was a Twitch affiliate, I didn't even want to identify as an affiliate. Because affiliate at the time wasn't what I wanted. I wanted partner. I didn't call myself an affiliate. I just called myself a Twitch streamer. Now I still do that. I call myself a broadcaster. Says that on the YouTube account. Says it on the TikTok account. Says it on the Twitter account. And it now says it on the Instagram account. Because, like I said, every day I go live on this, and I want to make sure I get more out of the site than it gets out of me. Because this site, we spent the last 3.5 hours talking about this site. And I don't know about you, but I took a shower before the show, and I'm going to need another one. This site is filthy. And like I said, all it's going to take is someone else putting out a better Twitch. Because here's the thing. If you debuted a website tomorrow with the exact feature set that Twitch has, or even 5% better, it doesn't mean that Twitch is going down. Twitch already has the community. Twitch succeeds because, like in many things, the key to winning is to have already won. Twitch is already at the apex of the mountain, and it's going to take something to knock them off. And like I said, they took their foot off the gas and they put it on the brake. That may come sooner rather than later. So every day, when I do this, I play a video game I would play if I wasn't live. We're going to be live tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be playing Resident Evil Director's Cut. The one that... And I'm going to play it for you right now as this. You'll hear that tomorrow. I will promise you that. You will hear this tomorrow. You will hear it a lot. I don't know if we'll reach that point in the game, but we will be playing that version of the game, and you bet your bottom dollar, anytime the game does not provide background music, at least half the time, I will pipe this in. To be specific, I'm talking about the greatest hits DualShock version. That's the one that's got the butt trumpets. You will be getting those in spades tomorrow, and I will be extremely fat-breasted. I haven't decided what outfit I'm wearing. We'll see when the time comes. I do have this very Black Widow-esque cat suit. Maybe we wear that. Who knows? That could be a thing. I don't know. So, anyone have any questions, I suppose, before we think about how we're going to spend the rest of this evening or not? But yes, my goal is to get more out of this website than it gets out of me. Much as James Stephanie Sterling mentioned earlier in that casino video, their goal is to escape the casino with a belly full of profit. And as long as they only spent $60 and they wound up with a belly full of booze and sweet, sweet Mississippi crab, they were always leaving that casino with a belly full of profit. My goal here is always to do the same thing, to walk away with something that I couldn't get doing something else. And if Twitch earns with me, they earn with me. And if I don't have the sub count here, I don't give a shit, but it's like, oh no, Twitch only made $7.50 off my labor this evening. Boo-hoo. I'm not gonna get bent out of shape over that, because as I say, this is my hobby. This is not my first source of income. I'm an office schmuck. The lights stay on whether the subs show up or not. I could give a fuck. Get Twitch Turbo, use an ad block. I don't give a shit. You do whatever you gotta do over there. I'm gonna sit over here and do what I gotta do. And if we all have a good time and we thrive and we vibe, then hey, we're doing a good job. So, that's my mission statement. When's dinner? Let's see, it's 9:29. Usually on Thursdays, I try to eat around 4 o'clock so I can sneak in some more show prep time. I would say it's about... Okay, how do I get from 9:30 p.m. to 4 p.m.? That's at least 12 to get you to 9 a.m. Then... Oh god, math is hard. Math is hard. Alright, now I had originally drawn up that when we were done with this, perhaps I would fire up Fax Xanadu or something and just play that for a bit. But you know what? I think I'm going to let you reclaim about the next 60 to 90 minutes of your day. That's something sometimes I hear in a meeting when it ends early. I will let you reclaim the 10 minutes or whatever. I think we'll do something similar because, you know, going from this to video games, don't get me wrong, I love playing video games, but this 3.5 hour broadcast has been a long 2 weeks. So what we'll probably do is just get ready to call it here. Due to the nature of this broadcast, I'm not going to raid into anyone. I trust you all to go out and amuse yourselves. As this isn't a regular broadcast, you're just going to go wherever you go. We're not going to do a raid command or anything like that. Again, we will be live next tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We're playing Resident Evil. We just got out of the mansion. We're headed towards the guest house. So, you know, we'll be able to count the 4 bathrooms that are over there. We'll meet Wesker. Jill will say iconic things. It'll be a fantastic freaking time. And yes, you're going to get your basement totes on. You will get all the basement totes. Oh! All right, then. In that case, I will sign off here. I am Queen Pib. Thank you very much, everyone who followed, biddied, rated, subbed, lurked for a bit, put up with my bullshit, or here the entire time. You all continue to contribute to the ongoing success of this shit show we call the Pib Show. Thank you very much for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Is there any chance I have a clip we can end off on here? I'll just play this. See you later, folks.
Queen Pib, in stereo where available. And where not available, it's not in stereo. There's nothing we can do about that, so don't blame us. We have no control over it. Call your internet service provider if there's some sort of problem, or the local Twitch server. But if they're not giving you stereo and you want stereo, that's your problem, not ours. Don't bug us. Complain to your congressman or Steve Manchin, like I'm sure he'd care. Ha! But we don't want to get any letters, understand? Good.